Yeah, 1 in 400 trillion chance of life.
And
You
here
did
I
it.
am.
Which means you're fucking special.
But not special enough for a birthday week.
Yeah, no, you're not. Nobody is special enough for a birthday week because everybody is just that special. What has happened? Are you overcompensating, trying to make up for the fact that you fucking did her dirty and there's a guilt there in you that you can't get past and you're a different person because of it? Something happened.
You're going to tell that story to somebody and they're going to be like, oh, ha ha ha. And then they're going to be in the car after that dinner or whatever and go, if you ever do that to me. Yeah.
That seed being planted as a joke or not will never be forgotten. You are sowing seeds of distrust and it's going to always remain in your relationship.
In 1996, we were married. My third, her first.
Couldn't see the record light and I almost had a heart attack. We're good. It's recording. Sorry. And we are back.
We're back.
Episode 40.
Episode 40.
The big 4-0. We are middle-aged, over the hill, we're peaking the hill. We're about to be going down. Today's, well, you guys watch this, today is my 43rd birthday.
Yeah.
Fun story. I was born on September 25th. I was out of the womb on September 25th, but by the time I was cleaned up and dated, it was September 26th.
Yeah.
So while my ID says the 26th, I share a birthday with my dad.
That's
my biological, yep. September 25th. Both of us have the same day. According to the stories that I was told, I obviously don't remember any of that, but that's what I'm told.
Yeah. It's pretty neat.
Wild.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early. We are going to celebrate our birthday in Vegas. Birthdays, because yours is past in terms of content.
Yes,
it's
content-wise.
technically like a couple days from now.
Yes, my birthday is in less than a week.
Yeah, we're gonna be flying to Vegas and doing the Vegas thing for our birthdays.
I just realized my birthday's in less than a week.
I noticed. I remember when I was in the gym this morning. I was like, oh, I bought her headphones. Like, we're getting ready for Vegas, and I looked at my watch and I was like, oh, it's the 7th. I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't buy a birthday gift. And I'm like, we're going to Vegas. I'll just buy it there. Coverage.
I would say that Vegas is a birthday gift.
Or them expensive ass knives. Yeah,
I don't say the knives are a really good birthday gift.
I understand the meaning behind the birthdays and like Christmas and trying to show somebody that they're special to you. I don't agree with it.
I hate my birthday.
I think that you should buy somebody something because you're thinking about them in the moment and it means something to you, not because you're told to buy somebody something. So those gifts mean more. Yeah,
it also seems to slip everybody's mind. All those little gifts throughout the year are just forgotten because you forgot my birthday. Yeah. I know people that celebrate birthday weeks. Me too.
As if there's somehow some special thing. You know what should be done is on your birthday, you should be thanking your parents. Congratulations for doing the dirty. You got me. Because it's they're the ones that pushed you out and did the work to have you. You being born is a byproduct of them. You should be thanking them, not the other way around.
Yeah. Even though I'm fucked up from childhood, I do appreciate being alive.
Yeah. 1 in 400 trillion chance of life.
And
you did it. Which means you're fucking special.
But not special enough for a birthday week.
Yeah, no, you're not. Nobody is special enough for a birthday week because everybody is just that special.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna treat Vegas like a birthday week.
So you're saying I need to bring all of our money and not just some of the money?
I don't spend money like that.
I do.
It's her birthday. I want to spend money.
Well, my birthday week too. We're going out there to joint thing. I don't know. I have other things that are more important than buying me shit while I'm in Vegas. So
it's an us week. It's a birthday us week.
It's vacation. God, it's a much needed vacation. As you know, our podcast is about personal growth and development, and a lot of things that we discuss is health, mental health, relationships. However, we have discussed financial security and financial freedom quite a bit. I would like to talk to you guys about Smart Credit. This is somebody that I reached out to, said that I wanted to work with because we are constantly asked about money.
So Smart Credit is more than just a financial platform. It is your all-in-one solution to help you control your future credit score. Smart Credit Score Tracker gives you a clear view of your credit scores, helping you understand how they're evolving over time. It's like having your own credit dashboard.
But what sets Smart Credit apart is their Score Builder and Score Boost features. Imagine improving your payment history, which accounts for a whopping 35% of your credit score, with just a few clicks. With Score Builder, you can communicate directly with your creditors and financial institution to address errors, identify fraud, and more. No need to send letters or make phone calls. The Score Builder streamlines the entire process and saves you the hassle and time.
Now, for the icing on the cake, Score Boost. This feature helps you tackle the 30% of your credit score related to credit utilization. It tells you exactly how much to pay off and by when to gain the most points the fastest.
And here's the kicker, guys. Smart Credit throws in $1 million worth of identity fraud insurance for your entire household. Absolutely free with every membership.
Smart Credit is more than just about maximizing your credit score. It can also be your financial dashboard. With their Money Manager tool, you can link your checking and saving accounts, investments, credit cards, and more all in one place.
Remember, it's not just about optimizing your credit. It's about protecting it, maintaining it, and Smart Credit provides the tools to help you do both effortlessly.
So why wait? Give Smart Credit a try today. Enroll in just 1 minute and get a 7-day trial for only $1 using the link in the description, and save $4 a month if you enroll.
Guys, remember, you are the author of your own story.
So grab your phone and download Smart Credit today and take control of your future credit score.
I looked at the thrones. We have to order your thrones for your new segment that we're doing. I need to... I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I am once again Flemmy. This seems to be the fucking story of my life. We need to order the throne chairs. Those will be estimated shipping. We'll have it here by the 22nd of September. So I'm going to order them while we're in Vegas so that it pushes that estimated delivery date back, because I don't want them to be delivered while we're in Vegas.
Right.
Poker table was paid for yesterday. Yes.
What print did you end up going with for the table?
I ordered the print and then emailed the company and told them what I wanted. So they're going to create a dollar bill print with 1776, like We the People
dope.
shit around it.
Hell yeah.
But I have not actually seen it yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
I do get one revision for what I paid for the felt. But I talked to Cody yesterday, and I asked them to make video of some of the stuff, like as they're producing the table, so that when we get the table, we can make like a video about it, and I can promote his company. I also was like, we could come out there and like tour your warehouse and like see your factory and blah blah blah. And he's like, oh yeah, I'd love that.
Where is it at?
Wisconsin, but we have people out there, so we could.
Isn't that the cheese state?
It is the cheese state.
I'm excited for the poker table. I'm really excited for cheese.
Yeah, Tim too lives out there, so I have people out there if
yeah.
I wanted to go out there and see all that. But I'm gonna hold off on promoting that guy's shit. I'm just super excited because the poker table's coming. So
Yeah. I like that we've gotten this far into poker.
yeah, me too. It's something that we get to do together, and like
Yeah.
it's mindless TV too. So like in the event that, because we do watch TV shows together, but in the event that you're not here, I don't have to look for something to watch. I can literally just put poker on YouTube, and it's background noise to me.
Yeah.
So we're almost sold out of journals. I think that's kind of dope.
That is really dope. I'm glad they're not just sitting.
I am too, because I was worried that they were going to just sit. I know that like high-end leather things are not for everyone, and to spend $80 on a journal is a lot of money for some people, but I have a bunch of them. I've probably got $400 or $500 in leather journals laying around the house, and I have them everywhere I go. Like I keep one in my backpack. I keep 2 of them back here, depending on how I feel like writing. I have the little one on my desk to keep notes in. So for people who enjoy that shit, I knew they would pay for it. I'm that guy. The only thing I don't like about that journal is I wish there was a fucking pen holder in it.
That would have been dope, yeah.
So I think the next time we do journals, I want to get with a leather maker and like design the journal, and then maybe try to keep it in stock.
Don't we have somebody in the Discord who's making you a journal? Or is it a
He's making me a wallet.
Okay. The wallet looks really dope.
I haven't been keeping up with him, and
No?
I need to like add him as a friend and like do the behind the scenes conversations, because I can't keep up with everything that's happening in Discord. I do need to get a hold of him though, because I think that he does everything by hand too. I just don't know how long it would take to mass produce
I'm still listening.
what we're doing. So we the studio's almost done. For those of you who are not part of Patreon Discord, our studio is almost finished. We have all the styrofoam panel up, or foam paneling for audio is up in both rooms. I still need to do the hallway. We got our office area we're going to record in is done. We have to figure out where we're going to put the lift desk. And then we have to do the whole other side of the room, which used to be a showroom,
Correct.
which is what we're going to work on when we get back. The goal is to have everything finished installed, ready to go by October 1st. We already have people set to come to studio in October to record. AJ's been working on other people. I have been working with other people. I was waiting until we got back from Vegas to like really solidify dates. But I think that there's going to be a whole lot more interview process happening. We're going to start doing content that is split between the YouTube channel and then going to Patreon to like help get more Patreon content up and more patrons to behind the paid wall, which will allow us to have conversations that we don't want on YouTube to be on that paywall.
Right.
And that's not going to be our normal podcast stuff. It'll be ruminations. It'll be interviews, things like that, because we do want to continue to build Patreon community. We want to support the Patreon community that's supporting us by doing content. And I know that the vlogs are dope for people who enjoy that, but it's not for everyone. So,
with the women's segment, like I said, I'm really thinking about interviewing a woman every week. And I already have someone in my mind, my best friend, Jackie. She was a teen mom and she was a single mom for a while. Like, so she did the struggles as a mom thing and now she's a working mom doing the fucking thing. And I think having women with all sorts of background on the podcast talking about what makes them happy in life, that will kind of hopefully combat the feminism thinking of you have to live your life my way or you're wrong.
yeah.
And I was thinking that we could do that, the split, at least a 2-hour interview, do the first half on YouTube, the rest of it on Patreon.
Yeah.
I think that would be beneficial too.
Yeah, I think that, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I think that if we did like 30 to 45 minutes of content that people can just enjoy on YouTube and the podcast, and then do a separate episode that is a lot more laid back.
Okay, for
like
the Patreon.
Free flowing Patreon. Yeah, for Patreon. Because then you can get people familiar with the person. And in the event that they want to listen to more of that interview,
Get them goofy.
It will prompt them to go to Patreon. So
Okay.
it's in marketing. I want to build the Patreon community. I want to continue to grow to be better, obviously, in all facets. And we have been going so fucking hard until last month. And last month we had internet issues. We had hurricane issues. This month we're going on vacation. So like we've got a weird lull in slow season, which is the worst fucking time to have it. But I believe that when we get back from Vegas, things are going to start swinging back up.
Yeah, I think we're going to be hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
And then in about a month or two, we're going to say we need another vacation.
Yeah, well, I'm good with that. You know, if we take a vacation every 3 months for a week to decompress and that's what we have to do, fuck it. I'm down for that. I think it'd be beneficial for us to actually do that because I need it.
This is a lot.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even the podcast itself. So like the editing thing doesn't bother me anymore. The content doesn't bother me anymore because we've switched it. What's getting me now is that I have so many other things that I'm trying to branch into that like I am heavily considering hiring a personal assistant locally. Right. So sorry about that weird cut. It happens sometimes. What I was saying is I think that the issue with me is not the content. It's not the hours. It's not the editing. It's the other things that we have going because I'm trying to help you with the thing that you've got going, which you guys will learn about after Vegas. I'm trying to work on the thing that I've got going, which you'll learn about after Vegas, which is a whole nother production thing. Not production like this thing, but like it's a whole nother business essentially. I'm trying to work with Jordan at Buffalo Graphics and get all that shit hashed out. So like my downtime during the daytime is down to like an hour or two tops. And it's at nighttime when we're fucking brain dead on the couch watching TV. I will say that getting the studio set up and me having a place to go and like be instead of being here has helped me a lot.
Yeah, my mental health does feel a little bit better after doing the live stream there yesterday and being able to come home and focus on housework was nice.
And not have like everything in one spot.
Right.
You know, for the first time in a long time, we have an empty room.
We do.
Yeah. We have to figure out what we're going to do with that shit.
And we can actually have a dining room table again.
Yep. I think that we should put one of the kids in that room and take the smaller room by our bedroom.
I agree.
And turn that into an office or like a studio, not studio.
Can move the shirts and stuff
like
in there.
A gear closet kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. I want to get all the shirts and all the assembly line shit out of here. I just don't want to do that until after Vegas when we're there every single day. Because right now I have no intention of going there today. I'm going to go and check on things. But for me, like I've already packaged orders. It's in the mailbox. I do that first thing in the morning while I'm waking up because it gives me something to do other than sit.
And it's mindless. You don't have to put a lot of brain power into it as you're waking up.
Yep. So I do that every day. So orders get sent out every single morning. And if I have to go to the office, print the order sheets, package everything, and then go to the post office, that's an extra 45 minutes a day that I don't have to do right now, because most of the time, if it's under 5 packages, I can cram it in the mailbox.
Right.
Most of the time. Sometimes people order 4 or 5 shirts and it's not fitting in the mailbox.
Speaking of the packages and whatnot, I swapped out the bag that you use to take those because I like that flower one.
Okay.
So I gave you an autumn-looking fall one for the season.
That doesn't matter to me.
I know it doesn't matter to you, but you're my man and I want you looking good.
Yeah.
When you're making post office runs.
I looked into, because that's what they're looking at, the bag I'm carrying. Is that a thing?
I mean, they're taking all of you in, and I
Okay.
think you being...
The way I look carrying an autumn bag, the flowers just didn't do it, huh?
I mean, they did when it was springtime. It's just not springtime anymore.
Okay.
We have to adapt. I also have an apple pie one if you want that. We're getting close to
I
Thanksgiving.
mean, I do like apple pie a lot.
I'll give you the apple pie bag.
A lot.
I got you.
That's funny. We have, okay, so just to kind of wrap up the housekeeping, we have, this is going to drop on the 25th,
Okay.
which means if they haven't sold out yet, there's currently hoodies, accountability, and burn the fucking ships. We have t-shirts. We have 2 different runs of the accountability shirt and a regular t-shirt of the burn the ships. All of that is currently on the website. As of right now, the time of this recording, there's still journals. We are still pre-selling the hoodie blanket thing that you have that you love so much.
I do.
And we have sticker packs on the website still, tobebetter.com. So if you guys haven't done any of that yet, you might want to look into that, because those hoodies, if they haven't sold out, will not be reprinted for quite a while, because they're Carhartt hoodies and they're not cheap.
I like the thought of those being a limited run.
Me too.
When I was walking with my aunt through the studio, she was the one who brought up the idea of putting the shirts on the wall. I really like that idea because it's, to people, it's not monumental moments, but to me, it's monumental moments, you know?
Well, we can take all the shirts. I'm like really weird about my clothing.
Yeah.
So like if it doesn't fit me right in the arms or it doesn't fit me right in the gut because I've put on weight, like I'm not wearing it anymore. So like we can take, I definitely give up the first original shirts we ran. I have I don't know why I have, but I have a large Love Is Not Enough shirt that still has a tag on it in the closet. And I have an extra large out there. So like, I don't know where their shirts came from, but they're here and they have the tags on them. So I know they're not mine.
Right.
Because I rip my tags off as soon as I take the shirt. And I have one Ego Kills Talent shirt that I do wear. I wouldn't want to give that up, but I would.
I have mine that I don't wear.
Okay.
So. I have the other one from the tattoo shop.
Yeah. Yeah. So we can absolutely make that shirt thing happen. You just have to find frames to like wrap the shirts around and like maybe staple them.
I'll do the whole thing. I'll just need the supplies for it, and I'll make a project out of it.
Yeah.
Would you consider painting that hallway?
I don't want to paint the hallway.
No.
Nope.
Even a white?
No. Nope.
Okay.
Because I'm already. You guys want to hear some pricing? $4,600 into first Insecurity to move in. $700 in paint.
Right.
$7,700 in wall and casters so that like Adam can do the build out. We are $1,240 in foam, and we have not bought the chairs, the couches. That doesn't count cleaning supplies, vacuums, and all that.
I spent $200 on. No, I lied. It was $300 on cleaning supplies.
Right. I don't want to spend any more money other than the necessities until we get things kind of settled and I know what's happening with the studio. And then,
can I paint the hallway?
if you want to, I would rather wait. Like let's get everything situated first and worry about that last, because it's a hallway.
Okay.
All the recording areas are more important, and like I want to get that done. And once that's done, if we really deem it necessary to paint the hallway in that back room, I can have Mike come do that. But right now, like I'm so focused on those 2 rooms that I told Mike not to worry about that.
Okay.
So we have a lot to do in terms of the walls and shit too. Like we still have to buy art. We have to buy prints, like canvases. We have to figure out how we're going to do the TVs. There's a whole lot of shit that has to be done. We have to buy another mixer. We have to buy 4 more microphones, at least 2 more cameras, 2 more lenses. There's a lot. We have a lot. We probably got another 15 to 20 grand that we've got to spend on that studio to make the studio the way that we want it, on top of whatever extra furniture we buy. So it's just a lot. It's worth it. I mean, it's definitely worth it. It's the evolution of what we're doing.
Right.
And it costs money to make money. So even if this puts us somehow in debt, I'm okay with it because I know that we'll crawl out of it next year anyway. So I'm excited about all this shit, man. I'm fucking pumped. I love where this is going.
Me too.
So
I have a lot I want to do with that women's area.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be super feminine. I want to do a I think I want to do like a monochrome, like black and silver or black and white rose wall. Like I'm going to build it. Not on the wall. It's going to be something to place over it. And then some type of soft lighting.
I don't know how you're going to do any of that.
That's okay.
I foamed all those walls.
Right.
Okay. I mean, you could definitely hang the roses shit on that foam.
It's not going to go on the foam.
Oh.
I'm going to have to get...
Like room dividers and just put them in front?
So...
A grid?
I can honestly get like some type of foam board and chicken wire and just figure it out.
Okay.
Make it work. Hot glue gun.
Are you going to use like fake flowers?
Yes.
Oh, well, then you just go to Hobby Lobby and buy a whole bunch of fake flowers and buy one of those grid things and just put it right in front of the wall so it's freestanding and just wrap the shit.
Okay.
See, we figured it out. I was like, how the fuck is she going to nail all this shit to the wall after I just put all that foam panel up? No, please don't take that down.
I'm thinking of that. And I'm also thinking of, because I know the foam wall is necessary to deaden sound. I just hate how it looks.
I think that after we get everything in there, it won't be as prevalent, but it'll still matter.
Right.
Because you can snap and here go.
Yeah. I've also thought of creating like a fake brick wall for behind one's chair and then doing the flowers behind the other. That way it's kind of like a contrast looking thing, kind of like a vintage look.
You know that we have 2 8-foot and 2 10-foot walls being built. Mm-hmm. And if we design one side for regular podcast and one side for your woman thing, we can literally just roll the wall around.
That would be dope.
That takes care of all of that.
That'd be really fucking
And
dope.
It's got power to it. So if you want to put lights on it, it's there. That's the move.
Okay.
Problem solving 101.
If I find a super cheap chandelier, would you hang it for me?
Not a chance.
Could we get somebody to hang it for me?
Not a chance.
So the chandelier's off the
Not
table.
happening. Yeah. There's drop ceilings in there. And if we open those drop ceilings or put holes in any of that, all that extra noise from the dance studio will absolutely be coming through.
Okay.
Yeah. You could buy like a giant curvy light that hangs over if you want to, but let's figure that out when we get back from Vegas.
I'm so excited about it. Okay, so we're just getting into emails?
Yeah, we're 20 minutes in of nonsense.
Okay. I don't think this is nonsense.
I mean, I think for most of our listeners it is. I know that there are people that enjoy the banter and the back and forth and like the life updates, but I know that there are a lot of people who are like, just shut up and fucking get into emails because that's why they're here.
So. Right, but when we did that, we lost listeners.
Some. Can't please everyone. That's all that comes down to.
I enjoy doing the banter.
Yeah.
Okay. First email is called A Girlfriend Trying to Grow. Hello, Chris and Peaches. Originally, I found you on TikTok, but am now a follower on YouTube where I binge listen to your videos while I work at my desk job.
I love everything about that.
Right?
Yep. Because she's dedicated to getting the content.
Mm-hmm. You should check out Patreon if you haven't.
Yeah. Every time somebody's like, I'm all caught up. I'm like, you checked out Patreon yet? And they're like, no. I'm like, you ain't fucking caught up.
Are you?
There's a lot of content over there.
You thought you were. Look at this. Feel like a magician pulling a massive cloak off of something and be like, look at that. I think the excitement would be the same as if I were a magician.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be into magic. I'm sidetracking. I need to stop. I, at first, was hesitant of your podcast and wondered if I could learn anything from it since that is not the lifestyle I live. I'm glad I started listening because I believe your content has helped to make me a better and more mindful partner to my significant other. As you say in your disclaimer, I will try to be as detailed as possible.
Man, I forgot all about that disclaimer.
Yeah, we have a disclaimer.
We haven't used it in forever.
It's old.
We have one that's in the Stream Elements bot. You had exclamation point disclaimer by a mod and it pops up in the chat, but we don't have one on the video anymore.
We need to redo that.
Yeah, maybe.
And then just put a timestamp. I've seen that on YouTube videos where, like, when you drag and hold, it says, like, intro, whatever segment, whatever. So if we can do, like, disclaimer and they can just skip ahead to intro, I think that would be dope.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we need to be able to just lay into the video so we don't have to think about doing it, like telling people to like, comment, and subscribe.
If you guys haven't done that, you should.
We talked about that this morning. We used to do that on every episode. Now we're like, yeah. You know what to do.
This is a total fictitious number, but only 5% of you are actually subscribed to us as you're watching.
That's funny. I actually think that number is closer to 10%, and I believe that that's accurate. But
can't we check? Isn't that on the analytics for the studio?
I think it would be based off of views
Either
versus
way.
subscribers, and if that's the case, it is around 10%.
I know all of y'all watching ain't subscribed to us.
Yeah, you should be, though.
So please do so. Also hit that notification bell. We do random pop-up lives because I'm chaotic and I'm like, hey, babe, you want to go live? And he was like, we only have 30 minutes for the announcement, but why not?
I never say no. I've never said no to you when you're like, you want to go live? I'm like, yes. Yes, I do. I enjoy this shit.
So back to the email. For starters, my name is A. I am a 24-year-old female, and my partner and I have been together. I'm on vacation.
We will be in a week.
Every single day, because I lack the motivation.
You had to learn the song, huh?
Yeah, I did. It came on. I was like, oh, this is what he sings.
That's funny.
I don't know the next line, though. But I learned that.
The last time we did that, you were like, something, 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 something.
Because I lack the motivation. I didn't do that part. It's every single day because I lack the motivation.
Yeah. We didn't know that last time we did that.
Unless that's what I sang last time and I still don't know the next part.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm just giving myself a pat on the back for knowing something I already knew.
Fuck it. You're happy. That's all that matters.
I am having a good time.
That's all that matters.
I can tell I've been working out my glutes because when I dance, I can like bop myself just with my booty. I'm not moving my torso at all. I love working out. It feels good to be in my body sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. The days where I feel like I got hit by a bus and my depression's really kicking and I'm just like, oh my God, breathing is tedious right now. I would like a vacation from my body. That'd be nice. But right now I'm having a good time. So they've been together for 4 years. It'll be 5 in December. My partner is a 25-year-old male who works full-time at a well-known tire company in the U.S. as a marketing manager.
I feel like we've read this.
We have read this.
Okay.
So how did this get moved back into a folder when I've already moved it when we've read it?
I don't know.
Okay.
That tire company thing is very specific, which is why I said I feel like
right.
Read that.
She's a paralegal, and I remember the paralegal because I was like, what an odd mixture of... All right. This email is titled, Do We Even Like Each Other? Comma, ...
Oh, man.
I think they meant 5 dots. I'm not picking on them for their typo. I just noticed it because I also send emails and I'm like, oh, fuck me.
They're like, pause. Pause.
Oh, was that meant as a breath? Do we even like each other? ... All right. Good Sunday morning to you both. My wife, 51, and I, 56, have had very huge arguments recently. And the guidance I have prescribed is obviously not the right one. I want to shower her in gifts and adoration, smother her in affection and love. She wants neither. She wants to know if we even like each other. That's two different, like y'all ain't even at the same baseball game.
Right, but he covers 3 love languages in one shot. So how would she not feel like they like each other?
So he wants to shower her in gifts. So he wants
one.
to be a gift giver. He wants to show her affection and love.
Right.
So physical touch.
And then admiration, words of affirmation.
Right.
So how can you be nailing 3 out of 5 and still be questioning whether or not you guys like each other?
Those aren't her love language, and she just feels that he's suffocating.
Yeah.
What if her love language is acts of service? Like that's how she receives love, and it's not like constantly hearing, I love you, you're amazing. I do that. Is that too much for you?
No, but I still think that regardless of how you experience your love language and the way that you receive that, I still think that you can't be that oblivious to the other 3. Like if this is happening and you see that your person is constantly telling you you're awesome and buying you shit and like touching you and trying to be physical, you got to feel at least some like they're obsessed with me. At least that, you know?
Right. Do you think that could be her way of saying, I'm trying to figure out if I still love you? And I'm just trying to say, maybe we need to figure out if we still like each other?
I think that's a lot more accurate.
Oh, man. Okay. In 1996, we were married. My third, her first.
Couldn't see the record light and I almost had a heart attack. We're good. It's recording. Sorry.
My mind went like, oh, yes, karma from the Matrix interview.
Are you kidding me? You know how easy it would be to edit one camera? I'll shut my shit off right now.
That's also an intrusive thought. I don't want that for you. No, we don't behave that way. We don't think that way. Would there have been a little bit of satisfaction there? Yeah, a little bit. But I'm not going to be there be like, fuck, I really want to.
Well, the Matrix thing wasn't my fault.
I know.
Okay. The camera error.
It corrupted and shit, yeah. I'm not that person. I just want to clarify. Okay. That was just a thought, and I'm not disassociating, distancing myself.
You are being petty spaghetti in your brain. It's okay.
Yeah, my brain is definitely petty. Sometimes my brain and I are just like fucking getting it, like catfight. And my brain is just constantly like 16-year-old me.
If you guys are artists and you would like to create fan art for us, we need a caricature of petty spaghetti. We don't have one.
We don't.
I think that she should be a person.
Okay.
Petty spaghetti should be a person so that when we have these moments, we can just petty spaghetti.
Yes. And I do have a request. Don't make it like a spaghetti monster. If you guys have seen Inside Out, all of the emotions, like they look like people, but they're the color of their emotion. I want petty spaghetti to look like a character, but still give off the, I can tell she's okay.
She needs a Karen haircut. Just saying.
I'm seeing Medusa, but petty spaghetti.
I need to,
like her estranged cousin.
I need the super power version of I need to speak to your manager.
There needs to be a pumpkin spice latte and her phone recording someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to post this on my TikTok. Wait till my followers hear about this.
All 6 of them.
We had that happen in the tattoo shop.
Yes,
that was pretty funny to me. I have 200,000 people on TikTok. Wait till they hear about this.
Yeah.
We have between us 1.8 million followers on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And I could not imagine telling somebody, wait until my followers hear about that.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
No. I will say, oh my God, this was such a dope interaction. I can't wait to tell everybody on TikTok about that.
Right.
You're about to fucking be on a podcast. Like
I just shared that dog bite video that Dakota made.
That was pretty dope to
watch. Was like, this is my dog trainer, guys. Yeah. If you're into this, go follow him. Like
his wife has been sending me update photos and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. So back into the email. In 1996, we were married. My third, her first. Prior to her, I had a heavy drinking and drag racing problem. Not exactly the healthiest combination of habits. Before getting married, I caused her to suffer 2 of my drinking instances and put me out of my life entirely. They were hugely embarrassing events for the both of us. She was who and what I wanted to dedicate my life to, and I did not need the other. Clean for over 30 years now.
Oh, wow.
Good for you. There's a lot to say in that. Like, men do a lot of things to escape life.
Yeah.
And he was willing to give up his escape in life because he loved her. She was more important than his escape from all of his fucking misery in life.
Giving up drag racing is harder than giving up alcohol.
Yeah. Why?
Alcohol has a physical addiction to it.
But you get the adrenaline from
But there's and alcohol is a depressant. It makes you feel bad. So I believe it's easy. I mean, obviously, I have kicked alcohol. I have not kicked my need for speed. There's an adrenaline rush that comes with that. And like, there's a stress relief that comes with it. And there's a lot of money that goes into that. But there's with alcohol, if you're an alcoholic and you're only getting drunk, it's not the same thing as the levels of cars. Mm-hmm. You have a love for cars, you have a love for racing, you have a love for engines, you have a love for interior. Like,
that
I can car
see that.
hobby is so much deeper than just getting drunk.
Yeah. And if that's something like he did with his dad, for example, like he grew up on that shit, I could see that.
Yeah. I'm sure that there's going to be people correcting me over all of that, but I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I think that it's more layer faceted than
it goes deeper.
Alcoholism.
Yeah. A few years after getting married, we relocated out of our state for her employment to a state I considered to be heaven on earth. Almost immediately, we got pregnant. She, not on the job long enough for benefits, and me, unemployed. Still, we're happy and trudging forward. Before our son was born, my Superman, my father, was diagnosed with cancer. Our son was not even 2 years old, and it was devastating to me. Not properly employed, baby in the house, and my only advisor gone. I failed my families many times. I failed my family many times on the financial front, but the worst is yet to come. I finally became properly employed, and I have great pay for the time. Became super confident in our future, took advantage of it, and spent money like nobody's business. Cars, gym membership, supplements. My wife was right there beside me. She wanted me to be happy, and I took full advantage of her. The one thing I couldn't have was her physical touch the way I wanted it. I had an affair and moved out. Regretted it from the moment that I did it.
I don't understand. If they were there doing the marriage thing and it was like a power couple, how could you not have the physical touch the way you wanted it? Are you saying like she was not into you? Was she using you for money? Was there a kink there? Like that, you can't just say something like that and move past it. I need to know why.
Right.
Especially if there's an affair.
Right. He said, my wife was right there beside me. She wanted me to be happy. So she was going above and beyond to make sure he had what he wanted. The one thing I couldn't have was her physical touch the way I wanted it. So like you said, was it a kink? Was there something she was uncomfortable with doing? Was there something you were just expecting her to know that you wanted and never communicated and grew resentful?
Right. There's a whole lot of information that needs to be.
There's a lot there, yeah.
Not saying that excuses the cheating.
Right. It does not.
But it leads to those things, especially if the conversations aren't being had.
There's a why to everything. If you stop asking why and just go, you're a bad fucking person because of what you did.
Right.
That's hive mind thinking to me. That's dangerous.
Right. There's no accountability there. There's no growth. Right.
Right. I want to know the why to everything. Oh, you unalived somebody? Why? Like, what in your mind made you think that was okay? We ask criminals that. Why did you do that?
They were asking me too many questions.
True.
See what I just did there?
Heard. I was going to ask if you'd like a coffee, but I'll just grab one. Excuse me.
It's funny. It reminds me of Young Guns.
Yeah.
I killed a man. Why? He was hacking on me. And they were like, oh.
What does hacking mean?
That's the way they said that they apologized to Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, Billy, we're just hacking on you. What'd you do anyways? He's like, I killed somebody. And they're like, why? And he's like, they was hacking on me, like joking on him, like making fun of him.
You okay. You try and make me the butt of your joke. Oh, I had something I wanted to start this podcast with, and I just remembered it because of the butt of the joke comment. And we're in the middle of an email, and I can't go on this tangent.
Sure you can.
We
can always go back to the email. It's in writing.
Thank you for allowing me to be myself. So I was scrolling TikTok as one does, and I have noticed an increase of videos of either it being a man or a woman texting their significant other after they've walked out of the house or they backed out of the driveway, gotten out of the car to go into whatever they're dropping them off for, and saying, I just dropped them off, babe, on my way.
You're seeing an increase of that? So
As
that
a
joke
prank.
is returning again,
Yes, as a prank. And I saw one this morning. I don't know the account. I don't know the couple. I don't know if they play pranks on each other. He sent the text message as she was walking into the gym. And he sat in his car waiting to get her reaction. And she came back out of the gym and got back into the car. And she was like, I'm not working out today. And he was like, what do you mean you need to work out? And she was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to spend today with you. And they had this back and forth. And he was like, no, you need to go work out. She's like, you really want me to go work out like that bad? And he was like, yeah. She's like, then come in with me. And he was like, no, doing the back and forth. And like, you can see it on her face, like the panic and the what's happening, trying to contain her anger and all of that. And I was going to leave a comment and say, I understand this is a prank. This is a joke. I would end my relationship over this.
You should have stitched that.
I saved it. I might.
That's how all this got started for us, was stitching videos.
It was.
That. You absolutely should stitch that.
I still do. That's a lot of my content now. I kind of moved away from posting things from the podcast, and I'm starting to just create my own content again. I was gonna leave that comment and include, I'm not a joke.
Right. The relationship shouldn't be either.
Like me as a wife, I am not a joke. Our marriage is not a joke. Our relationship is not going to be the punchline of whatever prank you're trying to make. No, thank you. I understand that there are people who, in 6 months, this is going to be absolutely hilarious.
It's not, though.
It's not. Like, you're going to tell that story to somebody and they're going to be like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And then they're going to be in the car after that dinner or whatever and go, if you ever do that to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That seed being planted as a joke or not will never be forgotten. You are sowing seeds of distrust, and it's going to always remain in your relationship when you do that shit.
All of the anxiety and trauma and things that I have worked through in the past and the things that I have to currently overlook now because it's a me problem, I receive that text message. Everything I've ever thought over the years is valid.
Yep.
I'm going to question everything going forward. I can't trust you being on your phone. I can't trust you being out of the house for more than 2 hours. Like, it would shatter everything.
Yep. You know what I'm getting a lot of?
What?
Cat videos.
I love that.
And dog videos and people getting hurt, which is awesome for me.
Yeah.
I finally saw a prank that I thought was actually funny.
Okay.
And I would never do it because it would make the house smell really bad. But somebody put fart spray in the Myers squirt bottle and made a mess in the kitchen. And the wife walked in and saw the mess and was like, "What the F?" And like started screaming. Go ahead, get it out.
You're good.
She grabbed the Myers bottle and she's like, and like she smelled it and it got worse. And like she went over to the sink and she was like dry heaving. And I was thinking to myself, like, that's fucking savage because that fart spray is bad. Like, it is fucking bad.
We'd be staying in a hotel for the week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to handle the smell in the house. My nose is so sensitive, but like that kind of shit's funny because you're not hurting anyone.
Right,
It's just a stink.
You're not emotionally damaging somebody. You're not shattering trust. You're not violating somebody's body.
Yep. I think I would still be pretty mad if somebody did that.
My nostrils would be offended.
Yeah.
How dare you force me to have my nostrils penetrated by that scent?
Right. But I can watch that and laugh at that instead of being disgusted by it. Right. Whereas when I see those other videos where people are joking about cheating and mistreating their people, like,
right.
Did you see what we're being tagged in a lot right now with the bodybuilder guy? He's not really a bodybuilder. Dude's super out of shape, but they're advertising him as a bodybuilder. And he's got to eat like 30 meals and she's got to make them all. And then she's got to clean the kitchen and like they have all this back and forth and it's supposed to be, it's some TV show. But everybody's like, "I'd love to get your opinion on this." And I'm like, I have no opinion on it. TV shows like this are scripted.
Yeah, I don't watch TV. You know, I fucked around and started watching that new Kardashian show on Hulu. They are so out of touch with everything in reality. Ugh, it's insane to me.
Yeah.
And it's all scripted. It is, "Oh, we need to refilm that, place that back in there." You can tell,
Hey,
especially with
this.
especially with the children.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it again. You can tell when it's been repetitive. The excitement's not there. Whatever. My last comment on that prank video with the cheating text message. As I was typing out that comment, I was like, how would I react? Like, I'm walking into the gym. This text message was just sent to me. I don't know that it's a prank. I would continue my workout. I want to walk outside. I would put my phone away and I would process what the fuck I just read. And I would do my workout and I would get into the car and it would be a conversation of, "You better have a really good fucking explanation of this." And the answer, "It's a prank for TikTok." You fucked up.
There's not a really good explanation.
There is not.
Right.
But the answer, "It's a prank for TikTok for views." No, thank you. You can do that with whatever TikTok influencer who is okay with faking content like that. I'm good. Any final thoughts on anything? Okay. So back into the email. I had an affair and moved out. Regretted it from the moment that I did it. Suffered my commitment to another woman in agony for over a year. The entire time, my wife is begging for my love and attention. My embarrassment and shame would not allow me to just go home. Job lost, financially broken, and destitute. I accepted her offer to come home. It was the same heaven as it was when we were first married. 2 years ago now, she lost her mother to cancer. It was very tragic and a trying time for the entire family.
I had to pause you. So they got over the cheating and the infidelity and managed to make things work and it just went right back to the way it was?
I guess.
Can you read that again?
Okay. I'm going to read the whole paragraph.
Oh, that's fine.
I failed my family many times on the financial front, but the worst is yet to come. I finally became properly employed, and I have great pay for the time. Became super confident in our future, took advantage of it, and spent money like nobody's business. Okay, so I'm going to pause. She got with him when he was an alcoholic, unemployed, doing drag racing. and she was floating the bill for everything.
Right.
Working. Became pregnant, was still working after the baby was born because, as he said, he was unemployed. He got a job, got some big money. I'm going to leave it. Money.
You're just making it PG-13, babe. Good job.
Yeah,
It was intentional. It was intentional.
Got some big money. And he suddenly had an affair.
Yeah.
Like, he had all this money, all of the success. He was probably doing fantastic in his field of work. He's working out. He looks probably great because he has a gym membership. He's buying cars, probably has some really nice fucking cars. He's getting attention from women. He gave in to his sin.
Yeah. There's, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm reading a book called The Four Agreements, and it is not a religious-based book, but he brought up sin in it. And he said, to be impeccable is to not sin. And he completely removed the religious aspect of it and just brought in the moral aspect of it. And to sin is to do something that is morally against yourself. So when you don't have yourself as a priority and you're doing things to your detriment, you're sinning. Does that make sense?
In the way he means it, yes.
Yes. So that's what I mean by fucking sin. Like, he had everything going for him that people dream of. A woman who's going to stand by their side no matter what. Fucking Jelly Roll Bunny. She was making bank when she met him.
Yep.
And he made a promise to her and he went through with it. I'm going to start fucking crying. Not going to cry. And he threw it away.
Yeah.
And now I can understand why she's like, do we even like each other?
Right. I want to know I still want to know the physical aspect.
Yeah.
I want to know what caused that.
Okay. So took advantage of it and spent money like nobody's business. Cars, gym membership, supplements. My wife was right there beside me. She wanted me to be happy, and I took full advantage of her. The one thing I couldn't have was her physical touch the way I wanted it. I had an affair and moved out, regretted it from the moment that I did it. Suffered my commitment to another woman in agony for over a year, and the entire time my wife is begging for my love and attention.
Okay, so she's trying to get him to come home.
Yeah.
So she forgived him before he actually...
Yeah.
Okay.
Before he was even back.
Right.
And for a year, he was like, no. And she was like, just, I love you, please.
That's wild.
And she got him back, and she's recognizing that he did too much damage.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know the rest of the email, but that's...
Hypothetically. If I were her in that mindset, if I was that woman, right? I am head over heels for you. And when I met you, this might be hard to believe for some people, but you were a bigger asshole than you are now.
Oh, I'm still an asshole. I'm just not that way towards you.
Right. But during our dating phases, there were definitely moments where I was like, okay, like, clearly this is not what he wants. And...
Oh, in our dating phase.
Yeah, in our dating phase.
Yeah.
And I could see in the moments that you did want it. And I could understand that you were having a hard time in life.
Yeah.
And people do nasty things when they're miserable.
Hurt people hurt people.
So I just continued pouring my love into you. If I were this woman and I did that for you and this amazing come up, we now have money. You have your fucking dream car, like you're doing the thing. And then I find out that you were cheating on me and you left. And I beg you a year to come back home. In my mind, I'm envisioning what we had before that happened.
Right.
Like I'm picturing that come up, that we poured love into each other. We made a family. Like we did the fucking thing. We made money together. We were living the fucking life. Like built the empire. Nothing is ever the same once it's broken.
Right.
And I think that's what she's realizing. So that's what I said. I'm putting myself in her shoes and hypothesizing.
Okay, so knowing that they had a rough thing because he was an addict and he did all the things that he was doing before the infidelity or the affair and the breakup, they know that they can troubleshoot and problem solve and get through things.
Right.
So maybe in her mind that she thought this was just something they can get over. Or maybe she just loved him that much that she was willing to overlook the fact that he did the shit. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was a kink, pure hypothetical.
Right.
And she knew that he needed to just get it out of his system and accepted it. I love you enough that you did this and I just don't want to hear about the details. I can get over this. And that happened. Mm-hmm. Maybe something else is going to happen that is unforgivable to her. We don't know, but like, there's a lot to process in that.
There is a lot.
And like I don't think that people who have perfect relationships in the beginning are going to last.
I agree.
There should be trials and there should be things that have to be worked through. And there should be things that you're going to see the dark side of a person, especially before you move in with them. You don't know somebody until you've seen that side of who they can be. Mm-hmm. Like you really don't. I don't know.
Yeah, looking back on our dating phase, if I wasn't strong enough to deal with the things that you were going through that bled into our life, I would not be able to deal with our marriage.
Yeah. Our marriage is way easier than our dating phase.
It is. I mean, there's not the stressors that were happening and life is definitely different.
Yeah.
But things are coming from different ways and affecting us differently. And
I guess it's different for me because the depression's not there.
Yeah.
I haven't been depressed in a long time. I've had one day here and there.
Where it flares up.
Yeah, but it's a day. Like I wake up the next morning and I feel good, or I'll take a nap. Mm-hmm. I'm like a child. You give me a little bit of nappy nap and I wake up and it feed me. I'm fucking good to go.
You need a Snickers bar.
Right. I turn into a diva without that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that's not the same as it was because the last real stint of depression lasted 6 years.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, I don't feel good. It was like 45 ACP sound like I'm going to taste real good right now. And that was my mentality every fucking day of my life for 6 years.
For 6 years.
So, and you caught the ass end of that. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I caught the fallout of that.
Yeah. Well, you knew me.
The balloon popped.
Right. Because you knew me while I was dealing with it.
Yes.
It is what it is.
I'm proud of the man you are.
I'm proud of the man I am.
You should be.
I'm doing everything that I believe a man is supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I think you are a really good man. I think you're doing right by like man law.
Yeah.
Man.
The Way of the Gentleman.
Way of the Gentleman.
If I ever wrote a book, that would be the name of it.
Yeah.
Or The Art of the Gentleman.
I like that.
Yep.
I think you're also a very good godly man.
Yeah?
I appreciate about you, yeah. Oh, fuck me. I just have to get through it. There are times where I feel so insecure in myself and like the anxiety kicks in and I start to question like, am I good enough? Specifically to be in this marriage and to be with you and to have what we have and all of that. And in those moments, like I lean really heavy on my faith and I lean really heavy on the fact that you have your faith. And I believe you when you say that you're a godly man and that we are doing this together, not just in life, but like in the spiritual aspect. So yeah, it really means a lot to me that I can trust you when you say that you are that person.
I hate that you cry.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. And I hate that my voice gets like this.
Yeah.
I wish I could stop it. I find it so funny. I have never met somebody who is like me with crying. And my aunt is just like this.
Is she?
She is. When we were walking through the studio, she's like, damn it, I told myself I'm not going to cry. And she's like, I need a second. And like, she has to gather herself and then continue talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to gift her some hankies. Do you have any other questions from that paragraph? Mm-mm. All right. So my embarrassment and shame would not allow me to just go home. Job lost, financially broken and destitute. I accepted her offer to come home. It was the same heaven as it was when we were first married.
So things went back to the way they were.
Yeah, it sounds like he's unemployed again, doesn't have any money, and is depressed.
He said it was the same heaven, though.
Right. It would make me feel like shit as a woman if you just came crawling back to me the same broken man you were because you know that I'm going to lift you back up.
Yeah.
Like you could have came back when everything was fucking great.
Could have not left when everything was fucking great.
Yeah. The best option.
It's crazy to me how people can get to that point and squander it.
Yeah. It blows my mind that people they start at rock bottom, gain something, get attention and throw it all away just to go back to where they were and recognize they fucking had it all.
Yeah.
2 years ago now, she lost her mother to cancer. It was a very tragic and trying time for the entire family. Many times late in the night, I was called to lift Mom off the floor where she had fallen. I would lift her from the bed to the couch so she could sit with everyone. Every night before leaving, I kissed her on the forehead and said to her, I love you. I do miss that woman. Fast forward to now, my wife says she needs time to figure out if we even like each other. I'm being told that there will be no I love you, no compliments, and no physical touch. We just need to see if we like each other. Typical man, self-esteem is shot, craving physical touch and wondering why she puts up with my crap. As I can profess my liking of her, she is my favorite person. Is it possible for me to become the person she needs me to be? I've never seen myself as being worthy of her or her gifts. Even if I made a spectacular event in her honor, I would tear myself down on the details I forgot.
I'm going to pause you.
Well, that's it.
He's playing the victim. This is a pity me post.
I agree with that.
You know that at one point you were the man that she needed to be.
Yeah.
She even brought you back after you cheated on her because she believed that you were that man. So what have you done since then to prove that you're not that man? Because you did something.
I was going to say, is it possible for me to become the person she needs me to be? So you've never thought that you were good enough for her, and it shows.
Right. Well,
because you treated her like it.
He said that, though. Like, he admitted, I never thought I was good enough for that woman.
Right. Yeah.
But if you believe that, then why didn't you work harder to be that? Right? Like, you set a standard.
He didn't say that.
Yeah. He just said that. Like,
I've never seen myself as being worthy of her or her gifts.
Right. That's him not being worthy of her.
Right.
That whole thing to me doesn't make sense. Even if yeah, that just doesn't make sense to me. This whole thing is a pity me thing. It's a pity party. You did something. And you sent us an email and you admitted to infidelity. You admitted that she took you back and everything was great, but you didn't tell us what's happened since then.
Right.
Because something's fucking happened. A woman doesn't go, please come home. Let's make this right. I want to be with you. I love you. And then all of a sudden be like, fuck you. I don't even know if I like you anymore.
Right.
That's such a hot and cold extreme that it doesn't just happen.
Right. There was a mile mark.
There's catalysts, absolutely catalysts happening all through there. That's pushing her to that point. Are you not working? Is she taking care of you now? Did she see who you were actually capable of being? And then you realize that it's easier to just fucking
be lazy,
be taken care of and to be a workless? Are you addicted again? Like, is there addiction happening? What has happened? Are you overcompensating, trying to make up for the fact that you fucking did her dirty and there's a guilt there in you that you can't get past and you're a different person because of it? Something happened.
Right.
That's a pity me email. This is somebody looking for us to be like, you're going to be okay. And to give you ideas of how you can try to woo your woman.
I'm going to be honest, you probably lost her.
Yeah. You did something. So be honest. When you send an email, be fucking honest with us. Don't give us half the story. Give us all of it.
Her fight for her family was strong.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. If I were her and the man that I was married to decided to walk away to be with another woman, you would never hear from me again. I would accept that you made your choice. And I now am going to have to live life for me and our son.
Go ahead.
You're fine.
I wonder if the mother being alive had something to do with the reconciliation between the two of them.
Like her mom was saying,
that's your
like
husband,
encouraging her.
You're married. You're supposed to be in this no matter what, for thick and thin, till the end. You guys said vows to each other. Like that old school mentality may have been a thing. And that old school guidance not being there anymore could be a problem.
She could be recognizing that I never wanted this and I only did this because my mom pushed it.
Could be. There's a whole lot of a deeper thing there.
Yeah, if her mom was super religious, I could see how that influence could be there.
So what we would like to see happen is you to get your woman to send us an email. That would be the ideal scenario in this. Or send us another one and be fucking honest and tell us exactly what happened, because there's a whole lot of missing information there.
Right.
I would like to hear from the woman. Hey, for you guys who are actually listening to us, if you want to send us video content that we can react to, that would be super fucking dope. Especially if you can get you and your woman, or your woman and your man, however you guys want to word that, or your people, your person together, and say, these are the problems that we're having, and like give us a back and forth. We can react to those comments or those videos. I think that would be a lot more enjoyable for people on YouTube than emails. Or you can fucking write the email, read the email to us on the video, and then give your thoughts as you're going through it, because that could also help.
Yeah, there'll be follow-up context and, I didn't think of this.
Right. Just a thought.
Yeah. Actually watching things play out versus reading it will also help me understand the environment of the household.
Yeah, that's been very helpful for us. The problem with that is people don't like to see their ugly side posted on the internet. Yep. If you got security cameras in your house and it picks you guys up arguing and you guys really want to break down and you both agree to it, send that shit.
I'm going to be honest. I would do whatever it takes to save our marriage, even if that means I look like a complete asshat on the internet.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's going to be one dope-ass come-up story. 5 years, look back and say, yeah, that was us. And we've changed everything. This one is titled, I've got a question about my relationship. So, introduction. Hi, I'm a really big fan and I like to watch or listen to your podcast and TikTok videos and try and interpret a lot of what you say and incorporate it into my current relationship.
Love that.
I love that too. I love hearing people's interpretations of what we say. Because everyone has a cognitive bias.
Yep.
And the way that you receive something I say, someone else is going to take it a completely different way that I didn't even intend it and blow my fucking mind with it.
Yep.
I find it really relieving to me that I'm not the only person who thinks about relationships in the specific healthy way that you guys do. Anyways, story. My question is about my girlfriend's past. When she was younger in high school, she used to pay for things without money. Oh, okay. She used to go to a lot of older men for it. Sorry, it's a bit harsh. This has left a serious impact on her mental health, and I don't know how we can move past it or see past her old ways so that we can help her move on, because I have this crippling fear that she's going to go back and do this type of thing again, or that since she has a past with a decent body count, that I'm not going to be enough for her.
That's a whole lot of insecurity on your part. So what are you going to do about it? Right?
Okay, well, hang on. Yes. What are you going to do about it? Also, a question that I have is, he phrased it as, I don't know how we can move past it or see past her old ways.
Right.
So that we can help her move on.
It's a him problem. It's not a her problem. It's a him problem.
So he said it has a serious impact. There's not a lot here. This is a one-page email.
That's fine.
He says that it has left a serious impact on her mental health. So how has it impacted her mental health? Because you went on to say that you have a crippling fear.
Right. That's a him problem.
Right.
So on the what are you going to do about it? First of all, everybody's got a past. Everyone has a fucking past. And if she's moved past that, great.
Right.
If she got used to not paying for things with money, as you put it, and she's used men to get the things that she wants, or men have used her, however you want to look at that, because I see that from both directions.
I think there's a cycle of usage there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Everybody's
Absolutely.
getting something from that situation.
Right. But she knows that she can do, I mean, depending on what she looks like, she could be one of those fucking girls on a billionaire's yacht.
Yeah.
Because she knows how to manipulate men to get what she wants. Mm-hmm. And now she's in a relationship with you. So you can't get over the fact that she did those things. She's obviously very okay with it because she continued doing it.
Right.
And if she's not okay with it and she's trying to change her life and she needs a provider, that's where my what are you going to do about it comes in.
Mm-hmm. You know, I watched a video. This is on topic. I'm going to bring it back in. I watched a video of a lady of the night from Vegas. She hasn't done it in decades. She was talking about how when she was 17, 18, 19 years old, she was roped into it thinking she's going to make a lot of money. She's going to be a business owner doing her thing. And then slowly it transitioned into human trafficking. And that transition was so slow and little points, they slowly broke down her psyche the way abusers do. And over time, she thought that she still had all of the power while still giving away her money and all of that kind of thing, right? So I can see how a young woman who falls into that kind of thing, like right now, she doesn't want to do it anymore. So she could be realizing like, fuck, I was manipulated to an extreme. I'm not okay with this behavior. And if that's her thought process and you're still going, well, I'm worried that you're going to do this, that's just an insult to her. She's having a whole massive transformation in her brain of being taken advantage of, like you were saying. being used, being manipulated. And she could be rediscovering who and what she wants and is in life.
She could also have a sex addiction.
She could.
And realizing that she has that addiction, using that addiction to fulfill multiple needs.
Yeah.
Because if she has a sex addiction and she can take advantage of men in the process, why not get paid for your addiction? Most junkies have to pay for theirs.
Right.
So there's a thing there as well. There's a whole lot that goes into that. There's
a whole lot of what ifs because there's not a lot of detail.
Right. I also think about the fact that, again, from a what are you going to do about it standpoint, like if she needs money and needs you to be a provider, you need to step up and be that provider. You're going to lose your woman if that's a thing that's super important to her.
Right. And if that's not the life you want, you need to accept that. You can't force her to work.
Yep. The other question that I have, because he said that he's insecure about her body count.
Right.
If she was doing this as a sex addicted person, or she was doing it solely for the money, it doesn't mean that she enjoyed the process.
True.
For women are much more emotional than men are. Men are just about to get the thrill of the hunt, to land the thing and then move past it, where you guys get an emotional connection. So if a woman has an emotional connection to man, sex is different for them than it is from just fucking people, for most women. So how does that look in this situation? Because he's worried about a what if scenario that has, that's a performance issue, bro. Like are you a quickie? Like you a minute man in the bed? Like, do you not know how to use the other tools of the trade to get things done? Because there are other options, if that's the case, that you can prolong things indefinitely. Are you saying that you're not enough? Because what are you going to do about it? Like, this is a you problem. This whole situation is a you problem.
I live life by, if there's a problem, you're going to come to me about it. Otherwise, you're happy and you're content. I might need a little bit of reassurance or validation. I might ask you like, hey, do I still make you happy?
Right.
That's not me questioning you in our relationship. That's me making sure I'm still on my fucking game with us. His what ifing, I'm not going to be good enough. She has a high body count. What if she's thinking about other dudes? On a subconscious level, that is going to leak into your mannerisms, the way you speak to her, the way you act around her. It could change the way you behave around her in public. And she's recognizing that you guys are being perceived a certain way. If you weren't good enough for her, you have to live by, she would tell you. Otherwise, you're just creating issues where there are none. Is that good advice?
It is. You know what else I just thought about?
What?
This is proof that body count matters to men.
It does.
Because this is a situation where they're young. He knows about her past. And though he was happy in a relationship and trying, this is now eating at him.
Right.
You are not going to find a whole lot of men who are capable of just going, yeah, she fucked a lot of dudes. It's her past.
Right.
Because for insecure younger men, this is very prevalent. For young men, body count matters a lot more than an older guy.
Yeah.
That's all there is to that.
And there's a lot of roasting when it comes to being a man in the performance. You a minute man?
You're talking to me?
You asked him.
Oh.
Are you a minute man? No, not you. But you asked that. He could be. And that could be something that he's insecure about, and that's why he's feeling this way.
Right.
There's that pressure there. There is that, why are you feeling this way? And if you're underperforming, that is a you fucking problem. What are you going to do about that? Because at that point, you have to acknowledge that you're the reason you're not satisfying her.
Yeah. There's a lot more shade thrown at men over sexual performance than women.
I believe that.
There absolutely is. There's fucking songs made about Minutemen. And obviously there's songs about women being whores, but there's not, in terms of sexual performance, there's not many songs that talk about a woman who just lays there uninterested. And even if there was, the response would be, well, it's his problem. Right? Like it would get thrown back on the man on that.
Yeah. If you were doing it right, she wouldn't be acting that way.
Right. So there is a performance anxiety that happens in most men because of things like that. And it is because it's taught to us. We're only an hour and 15 in. Oh, is there more?
Yes. So question. I'm just looking for your advice on my situation and any tips to help me look past her past so that we can both take it into account and try our best to keep going. Extra, to clarify, I love her very much and she has let me see things that she has never let anyone else see that are personal to her, and I have done nothing except accept her with open arms.
You're not accepting her, though, if you got a problem with her past.
Right. Accepting with open arms would be, I know this is your body count and don't bother me, baby. It's me now. Mm-hmm. This is the only bick you're getting for the rest of your life.
Good. That was good. That was good. That was good. There would be an air of confidence in that,
Right.
which he clearly lacks in this situation, and he flat out admitted it.
Yeah.
This also comes into a lot of conversations that we've had about people's pasts. You can't change the past.
No.
You can accept the shit that had happened, and you can fucking move past it. You dwelling on the past is never going to allow you to move forward in anything. You study the past, you learn from it, and you fucking go. Like, she had a past. She learned from it. She doesn't want to live that life. She's in a relationship. You're the one that she happens to be in a relationship with. So why are you having an issue right now?
Right.
Has she given you reason to feel like this should be a problem? Because if not, you don't need to be dwelling on that shit. Living in a what if scenario and being stressed out, anxious, worried, fearful, you are paying a debt you don't owe yet. There's no point in that.
I agree. Appreciation. I love your content. Thank you so much. Even if you've read my email, it means a lot to me because I'm a big fan. I appreciate what you do for every couple that listens to your content, and I hope you have a great day. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you're such a loyal fan. I would recommend reevaluating your self-esteem, reevaluating what you bring to the table, and if you decide that you do not bring enough to the table, bring more to the table.
Yep.
And if there are things that we touched on that you feel are inaccurate, I would recommend writing in a more detailed email with more perspective.
Yeah. I believe that this is solely a him problem. And I believe that this all stems from insecurity, lack of confidence. I'm willing to bet that enough words of affirmation in that relationship would slowly change that for him.
Yeah.
I can hear the fucking bugs through that window. Can you hear that?
Yeah, the cicadas.
It's crazy.
I like to think that it's the trees screaming.
Yeah, because it's so hot outside.
Yeah.
Pissed off that they don't have air conditioning.
Did you know that plants, when dehydrated, actually scream, but it's on a frequency that we can't hear?
Yep, I did know that because you told me.
Did I?
I don't know if it's true or not, but you told me, so I believe you.
Could you imagine if that's just all the trees screaming, and because it's so loud, it's hitting our frequency?
It's funny.
Crazy. I want to go water them now. All right. Another email. Just a set of eyes. Hi, Chris and Peaches. I'd never thought of myself doing something like this, reaching out for help. I have always been told and expected to handle my own business. Something that males in the society have just been brought up with.
That's not true. That's not true at all. That's your that's your perception of things. You think that men have never been, I'm sorry, I know you're reading, but you think that men have never been taught anything, that we're supposed to just figure shit out on our own? Apprenticeships wouldn't exist. Mentorships wouldn't exist. The fishing trips and hunting trips with your grandparents and all the conversations around the dinner table. We are taught to deal with our shit, and we are taught to learn and process things the way that our family teaches us to process things. But if you need fucking help, or if you need a fucking trailer welded,
Right.
you're going to call a welder, or you're going to call a family member that happens to know how to weld, and you're going to ask them for advice so that you can do the shit yourself. We ask for advice on the things that we truly want to know about. This is a character flaw. I got it. I'm just going to deal with it on my own. Don't worry about it. You are emotionally immature.
I think it is being repeatedly failed by the providers in your life as a child.
I agree with that. But I also know that I have men mentors in my life and men that I look up to, that when I have a question, I fucking call them.
Right. I agree. It's a perception thing. If that's all you've known your whole life, I can understand how that's your perception.
Right. So for all you guys listening, that's not it.
A big thing in society is, can't be a bitch.
I agree with that.
Suck it up. Are you crying?
Yeah. Time and place for that shit.
I agree with that. I don't know. I've seen a lot of men cry in movies and TV shows. I would go as far to say that men are being presented as the damsels in distresses in social media.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Almost everything I've seen is the woman swooping in, let me save the coward man who can't handle stress, and
because
he's overwhelmed. So he is now the damsel in distress in film. So
do you think that's the push to make women more masculine? Because that's the only reason that
with that being the only plot line in a vast majority of things on television and on screens now, I would say yes. I would like a healthy dose of it. I think that women being a damsel in distress and women being the badass are one side of the same coin. I don't have to constantly be doing back-breaking labor and pushing myself into the ground to provide. I can also be soft and feminine and be a stay-at-home wife and a stay-at-home mom and provide for children in the nurturing way that I would want to do, because I've done the back-breaking shit. I had a moment with our daughter this morning. I talked about it on TikTok. Did you see it? For context, our daughter spent 5 or 10 minutes. She had this little circular plate that she did watercoloring on, and she was fanning me with it. And I noticed she was doing it. I was like, oh, thanks, babe. Like, I really appreciate you doing that. She was like, you're welcome. I love you. And she kept doing it. And I was like, baby, you don't have to do that. Like, we have AC in the car. And she was like, I want to. And she didn't. And I had a moment of, there are grown women who would have a problem with what she's doing.
Is this act of service?
It's an act of service. She's fanning somebody else.
Yeah.
If it was a man, they'd lose their fucking mind. I felt a deep love in that moment from her. I know what I do for our kids. And I know our kids see what I do for them. They don't understand the full extent, but in moments where they really want my attention and I stop what I'm doing and I say I'm handling an email on my phone and I interrupt that email and put my phone down to go play with them, they see that and they appreciate it because they tell me thank you.
Yeah.
Mommy, you make me happy. So thinking about her growing up in a world where women can only be depicted as being badasses and you have to be the savior of everything and nobody has your back but you. Why? Like, she wants to be independent. She wants to open doors by herself and do that whole thing. She also wants to be taken care of, though.
Right.
And that's fucking okay.
Yeah, that wanting to be taken care of and wanting to be independent is her age.
Yeah.
It's just normal, right? And that's something that should be encouraged on both parts.
Right.
To the original point that you were making and all of that, and the way that men are starting to look like the damsels in distress. Mm-hmm. It's gone around TikTok, but there's a moment in 300 where King Leonidas looks over at his wife and she gives him the quick nod and he kicks that dude down the fucking tunnel. Mm-hmm. There's other scenes in that movie where he is being completely vulnerable with his woman, not his troops, not his generals, not his friends, with her. That's that united front.
Right.
Men should be completely vulnerable with their woman and still be that badass motherfucker to everyone else, because that's what we are supposed to be in terms of protect, provide, lead.
Right.
That movie is obviously it's a horrible fucking movie in terms of relationships because he fucking dies. Yeah. But like that, if you look at the dynamic between him and her in that, that should be a leap board for people to try to aspire to have in the relationship. That whole, I don't like that whole damsels in distress thing. That kind of gets to me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they're being depicted as. That's how I view that as. I can't remember what scene it was, but it was a superhero thing. And the man was just a complete fucking mess in the middle of this fight. And the woman swooped in and picked him up and they did their thing. And she's like, I got you. And I was like, fuck, okay. Batman. Christian Bale. And I'm here for empowering women of you can also be a badass and you can stand up for yourself and you can be a protector in your own right. There were fucking Viking women.
Right. Shield maidens.
Right. Like Valkyrie depicted with their fucking Pegasuses and women only army. I'm here for that. But putting men down in the same process of you now have to accept that women are superior than you. You can't be a man on your own. You need women who are better than you to be a man. Yeah.
Well, in that whole process too, like people are going to argue that that's teaching men to be vulnerable. Men are crying in movies now and they're needing to have a strong woman role because men are toxic and like we're trying to empower women.
That's gross.
But you're right in that they are putting people down in the process when you could do things like in 300 where both of them are equally fucking strong and they're a power couple and a dynamic duo. Dun, 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 like
yeah. And in that moment where he looks at her and she nods her head, a lot of people are like, oh, he's waiting for her to give permission. She wears the pants. She's the one who really has the power here. what I take from that moment is he looks at her and in that, what I see is, can you live with me if I do this right now?
Yeah.
Are you okay with this choice of taking another life? Like when we go home tonight, are you going to tell me that I shouldn't have done this?
Yeah. I agree with that. I actually agree with that. I think I take it a step further though, because in that moment where I see that, I see a king.
Yeah.
I see a man who has businesses and leadership, true leadership, leader of men. That fucking crown is heavy.
Yeah.
A lot of you will never understand what it is to have other families other than your own depending on you to make sure that they fucking eat.
You have other people's children depending on you.
Right. And in that scenario, it's an extreme scenario because he knows that what he's about to do is going to start a war.
Yeah.
And he's wearing that fucking crown and that head is heavy. And he looks over at his wife like, I'm about to fucking do some shit. Am I out of line here? And she gives that nod like,
this is it.
Run this motherfucker. Like, and he's like, I'm making the right decision. He turns around and makes that decision. Like, you need that team. And he didn't look to his general. He looked to his woman because she knows the vulnerability of the man. She knows the emotion of the man. She knows how fucking heavy that crown is. He's unloaded all of that weight onto her and she helps him carry it. This is our podcast.
Yeah.
This is what we've been preaching since the beginning in the teamwork. It doesn't matter how fucking much I work in life and how dope our life is. I carry a load. And when I can't carry that load anymore, you step up and go, okay, babe, what can I do to ease this today? That is our teamwork. I will work myself until my back is broken and I have blood coming out of the tips of my fingers to make sure that you and the kids have everything that you need, but you don't let me do it alone. In that moment, they're not doing it. He's not a king. She's not a queen. They are a couple fixing to have to deal with the consequences of the king's actions. There's an honor in that.
I'm going to be honest. I've never seen that movie. I've just seen that scene.
Well, we're watching that tonight.
So knowing that he's getting ready to start a fucking war.
Yeah.
He looks at her. There's so much more communication in that look now.
Yeah.
I might die from this kick.
Yeah. There's a lot too that goes into the history of Sparta and like the Spartan men. And if you know the history of what that is in ancient Greece and like the way that they did things back then, it changes the entire movie. And because I am kind of a history buff and I like what the Spartan culture was, when we watch that movie, there will be a lot of pausing and discussion.
I'm very excited for that. Yeah. I love watching movies based on historical anything. And we can break down like that marriage and that look between them. Mm. Would you want to record us doing this?
I don't. We already got a violation on YouTube. I think we can watch it and absolutely have a discussion about it afterwards and record the discussion.
Okay.
Or maybe watch it twice.
Yeah.
And then have the discussion so like you can pick things up that you missed the first time.
Okay.
I've watched that movie a lot.
Do you think that we have that relationship?
I do.
Okay.
I do because I know that I am, okay, here's another example of how that's the podcast. I am the decision maker. Mm-hmm. He's the fucking king.
Right.
If he says anything, he has an entire army of troops that are loyal solely to Sparta. Him being the representative of that. Mm-hmm. He could do anything the fuck he wants. And in that moment, he looks to his woman just to make sure that he's doing the right thing because that approval from her means a lot. Not approval and like, go ahead, I'm in charge.
No, it's of you're doing the right thing.
Right. What does my character say about what I'm doing right now? That's it. Like, I am the decision maker. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't make major life decisions until I've talked to you about it.
Correct.
Regardless of you being against it or for it, if I've made my mind up, I have the ability to do. You've given me that power. I still check with you first.
You do.
Babe, I'm about to spend 20 grand on blah, blah, blah. Babe, I'm about to spend, if it's over $500, we have a discussion about it.
Right.
It's not like you have any say over the finances. I handle all of that shit as well. So in reality, I could be fucking blowing money and doing all this shit and fucking, we could be dead broke and you would never know because you trust me to do the things because I have not led you wrong and I keep you informed in everything that's happening. I tell you at least once a week, this is what we have in saving. This is what we have in the bank. This is what I'm about to spend. Right. Because the money is a big stress for me.
Yeah.
The more money you make, the more bills you create. Mm-hmm. And the whole point is to live life without debt and do all of that shit. But life, when you have business and the level of success that we have, it is revolving debt.
Right.
I could pay everything off and live solely on the cash and the sales that we make. And that is the long-term goal. Mm-hmm. But the moment I decide to do something else, unless there's a giant savings that's not there, and I can do it all again on credit and quickly build it back up. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of a credit system.
Right. I want to touch on you having the final decision making and the finance and whatnot. People get really up in arms about that.
Yeah, they do.
And they get super pissy about it. I just want to open the window a little bit more on that, just clearer image for people. So you're the final decision maker in everything in our life, including the finances. And because of that, there is a very strong possibility when we get back from Vegas that I'm going to have a glitter pink wrapped Mercedes SUV.
Right. Because you want it.
I didn't even ask for the Mercedes. One day you were just like, how would you feel about having a Mercedes? And I was like, I thought about it. And then we had a conversation. You were like, okay.
Right. And we tried to test drive them. It
We
just
did,
didn't
yeah.
work out.
It didn't work out that way.
Our sales rep wasn't there.
I have Louis bags.
Mm-hmm.
When I want a new dress or new shoes, you're like, okay, here's $300. I stress about nothing. When I was in charge of my money, I didn't buy myself anything because I was always so worried about money.
Right.
You are not only more equipped to handle the stress of that, you are also okay with spending money. That's something I never was. Growing up, we were penny pinchers, going to the Goodwill to get clothes and shit. So it is ingrained in me, save money, and I will spend money when it's like if I want to go plant shopping, like, hey, babe, in the next week or two, just so you know, I'm getting ready to spend a chunk of money. So you being okay with spending money stacked with you being able to handle the stress of it all makes a lot more sense, and I only get to benefit from it.
Yeah.
My life's pretty dope with you being the final decision maker.
So what do you say to the people who say, well, you have to ask him for money?
What does it look like when you sit down and go, I want to go on a shopping spree. Let me look at my bank account.
But it's your bank account.
Right, but you're sitting there and you're looking at your bank account and you have to sit there and decide whether or not you have the money in that bank account to spend it. If you just spend money without asking yourself, is this really a good idea right now? You have to ask yourself permission to do anything. A logical person would. A logical person would sit down and go, all right, I have $2,500 in the bank account, $1,800 of that's for rent, and I also have my car note due, and I have to go grocery shopping. I probably really shouldn't go and spend $200 on heels until I get all of that paid.
Right.
If you do it anyway, knowing I'm going to get a paycheck in the next 2 weeks, and it's okay if I pay something a little bit late, no thank you. It boils down to you allow yourself an allowance.
But people have an issue with me allowing you an allowance.
Why?
I don't know why they have an issue with it, because they do. They say things like, I control you, and that you are in an abusive relationship, and that you're with a narcissist, and all that bullshit.
Do you know how easy it is for me to go, hey, babe, can I have $300? And I don't have to go into my banking app. I don't have to transfer the money. I don't have to stop what I'm doing and go, oh, fuck, I didn't transfer the money, and I'm already standing here. I have to pay for the shit.
Right.
It is one less thing that I have to worry about.
I was going to actually ask you a couple more questions about that, because I think that people have a cognitive bias that they look at life through, because maybe, can you move that down just a little bit more? I think that people have that, well, it happened to me this way.
That sucks.
I lived that experience. I had a shitty man who took advantage of blah, blah, blah.
I hate that for you.
Right. So like, do you think that people say that to you because they're trying to look out for your best interest, because they think that you're living their life?
There's a way to deliver it. When you go, you dumb bitch, one day you'll wake up.
Which you've heard.
I have, yes. I have heard that. You're so naive. I can't believe you're letting a man do this. I've been in that situation. Have you, though? Like, really, have you? Because...
So break that down. break down the situation.
Right. Unless this is some really insane fucking Stockholm syndrome.
With us, you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe what I'm fucking saying is true. Maybe my experience is fucking valid, and that what I am living is what I'm saying I'm living, and you're just projecting. Having a situation where you meet a man and he's amazing, checks all of the boxes, everything's great, and then things start to fall apart, that's different. When we got together, it was tumultuous. I was learning you on a different level. I was seeing things of you I've never seen. I'm experiencing things I've never experienced. You're sharing things with me that you've never told anybody else. There were several times in the beginning where both you and I were like, I've thought about just ending this.
Yeah.
Our dating phase was not sunshine. Oh, fuck me. My muscle in my neck just rolled.
Again.
And it jerked my neck, yeah. I don't remember what I was saying.
You were talking about the situations of the
right, but what did I just
our
say?
dating phase being tumultuous.
Yeah, so it wasn't sunshine and rainbows. There was more good time.
Absolutely.
Right, we had a lot of fun. But there was a week or 2 weeks where you were deep in your depression and you were trying to shut me out and you were trying to push me away. And you've even said you were trying to see how far you would push until I was like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
And then it changed. You recognize that you are safe with me, that I am not somebody who's using you for your money or to get in on your business or to get a tattoo apprenticeship or to further myself or to gain information against you, to use it against you with other people. Like,
Right.
Our relationship has gone through evolutions and it's only gotten better. I've been in a relationship where it was super dope right off the bat and the person was perfect. And I would say that they're fucking perfect. That's the naive me. That's me overlooking the bad things because I so badly wanted them to be who I wanted them to be. So just in the beginning stages of how relationships start off and evolve versus how we started and we evolved, two different situations.
Right.
To say that I am naive for allowing my husband to be the head of household and to be the final decision maker and to handle the money is naive in of itself to say because you're not living my life. You're not in my day-to-day life. You don't know me personally. I don't confide in you. You know absolutely nothing of my relationship besides the surface level things that we present to you.
Right. Well, and that's what I was getting at with the situation thing, because you said the situation's not like ours.
Right.
And I meant when I wanted you to break down the situation is because I wanted to see where you were going to go with it. Their situation is not like ours.
No.
In the event that they got a man who is not afraid to work, who has money, has business, has a work ethic, is good to the woman, like is good to the kids, and is like I am, and they somehow fuck that up, or the man fucked that up, the situation's not the same.
Right.
Our situation is literally our situation. The way that we live our lives and the dynamic that we have between you and I is who we are as people.
Right.
So to say that, I lived that, I was in that situation, you fucking weren't in this situation. You were in a different situation.
A really shitty situation.
And it ended up the way it was supposed to end up because of the way your situation was.
Right.
So you can't compare your relationship to another person's relationship, especially on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
So, and I understand the want for people to be able to protect other women who are in bad situations, or men to protect other men who are fucking used by women. Like, that usury happens. People are fucking scumbags nowadays. They are very selfish. They don't have empathy. They don't care about people the way that they should. And they don't have the loyalty. They look for the next level up.
Right.
And that is the biggest thing that I've seen in all of this, is that people are always waiting for that next best thing. But when's that new iPhone come out? Oh, that new computer processor came out. Oh, that new Xbox came out. Oh, that new Call of Duty came out. That new.
Right.
We are pre-programmed to wait for that next level up. So when you're in a relationship and everything is dope and you get a little bit of a problem in your relationship and Susie Homewrecker comes along and starts smiling and flirting, oh, now we got the last email where dude's looking outside of his relationship because something is being fulfilled there that wasn't being fulfilled in the relationship. And we aren't taught to communicate things properly anymore. So the lack of, hey, this is where I'm not happy because I don't know how to check in with you and let you know where my mental health is, or where my dissatisfaction comes in the bedroom, or the fact that you've gained too much weight, or the fact that I've gained too much weight. And you know what I mean? Like, people don't want to hurt anybody's feelings anymore.
Right. Or they just want to place blame.
Right. They want to throw shade and fucking the other person's the problem. It can never be me. I'm fucking perfect.
Yeah.
When I've put on 60 pounds, I'm gonna be like, you gained 5 pounds. Like, shut the fuck up. There's a whole lot of things that go into all of that.
Right.
Situations ain't the same.
So you said to explain the situation. So I'm just going to give a rough outline of what my day is as your wife.
Okay.
So I wake up in the morning. I wake up before you. And I send you the reason that I love you for the day.
Yep.
And then I get the kids up, do that routine, get their day going. And then usually you are awake before the kids are awake. So you come and find me when the kids aren't here.
I hate that you wake up before me, by the way.
Why?
I just don't like it. I have always been the early riser. I have always, every relationship, gotten out of bed before everybody else.
Yeah.
Yep. And you do it before every morning.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like I'm a slouch.
You've been up at 7.
I get up at 6 every morning now.
Yeah.
6:30. I'm out of bed by 6:30 every morning.
So I'm usually sitting on the patio, which I do. I have my decompression time before I wake up the kids in the morning. Wake up the kids in the morning on the patio. So you come and find me and give me a good morning kiss and then go about your day. I leave the house. I give you a kiss before I leave. Drop the kids off at their respective places. Come back home. I put my purse down, immediately find you and give you a kiss and ask you how your morning's going. And then I ask you if you need anything. And you say, no, babe, I'm good. You do your thing. And I start doing whatever I'm doing. And then just as the day plays out, it is little flirting and passing, slapping my ass, touching me, kissing me, just doing your thing. You're really good at it. I figure out food. I get your lunch ready for you and then bring it to you and get your shit set up, get you a drink if you need it. And when we're done eating, you clean up. You take care of all of it and take the trash out. You check on me throughout the day. You send me little TikToks and things that'll make me smile and will make me happy. And on harder days, you send me extra cute ones like animals or somebody getting hurt.
Yeah.
Day unwinding. Oh, we watch movies as a family and we eat dinner. Or if the kids are at the dad's house, we cuddle on the couch and we have our decompression time. If my feet are not touching you, you grab my feet and you drag me across the couch and you put my feet on you. There is always a form of physical contact when we're sitting next to each other, even in the car if we're driving somewhere, we're touching. Mm-hmm. And then bedtime, we do our thing, and we always cuddle before bed.
You fall asleep on me every night.
I do. You make it a point. I know you're ready when you put your arm up, and I slide into position.
Yep.
And if I don't slide in position, say I'm like sitting on the bed, like doing my medication before sleep, you rub my back, or you have your hand on my back, or you're touching me in some form. And you rub my back to sleep. And then once I'm asleep and you're nodding off, you wake me up, I roll over, you roll over, big spoon me, and that's how we fall asleep.
The only thing that you left out is the recording stuff that we do.
Yeah, we do that.
But that's what your day looks like.
Yeah. When we record, we sit down and I have your undivided attention and you flirt with me and comment me and compliment me. And we have really dope conversations and break things down and we understand each other on a newer level. We have conversations we would never have otherwise. And even on hard days, we make it a point to do all of those things. I send you the good morning text. You come and find me. Mm-hmm. Kisses before we leave and after we get home. And right. That's why my situation is different from your abusive situation.
We don't argue.
We don't argue.
We will have a disruption every once in a while over a misunderstanding in communication, but even those are not arguments. By definition, yes, they are an argument because we are at odds with each other in the moment, but it's not elevated. There's no screaming and yelling. There's no cursing. There's no talking down.
There's no degrading. Right.
It is a conversation on this is what's happening. This is how I feel. Okay, I won't do that again. I didn't know that it made you feel that way. I'll work on it. And that's the end of it. Like, there's no need to beat a dead horse. Once it's out, it's out. Like, we move past that shit. A lot of people have a hard time with that. They'll bring up shit that happened 6 months ago and want to argue about it today. Well, that shit happened 6 months ago. I have a friend right now that is going through something that happened years ago in their life, and it's constantly being brought back up, and it's constantly becoming an issue again. And like, I don't understand that mindset. If something happened with us and we resolved that, it's fucking resolved. If you bring it up again in the future and be like, why are you bringing this up right now? And if you say, well, you said this and it triggered this feeling in me. Well, that's a you thing. We've moved past that.
Right. The only way I would accept something being brought up from the past was it's showing a pattern of behavior in me.
Right.
Or you need reassurance in the moment because now your abandonment's kicked in.
Right.
Or whatever extreme emotion was triggered and now you're having a panic attack and you're present it with, I'm not mad about the situation. You just need to know the context of what I'm going through.
Right. Right. Because there's context.
Right.
It's different than bringing it up to throw it in your face. Right. Or to start a fight over something that happened 2 years ago.
That bringing it up, that happened years ago, if it's a daily thing, I would just say, look, clearly you're not happy. I am miserable. I cannot do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yep. I wouldn't be able to live with weekly
I couldn't.
situations like that.
I couldn't.
If I've moved past something and you're still harboring it and you can't move past it, and I clearly have, that says a lot.
It's walking on eggshells.
Right. There's a whole lot of issues that need to be worked out there. Therapy, maybe, I don't know, but that would create a lot of disruptions, and it would make it very hard for us to live the life that we live with an animosity brewing between us.
Yeah. Yep. Well, back into the email that we just started. Let me first say I'm grateful for the opportunity that the two of you opened up yourselves on a platform to truly help people and their relationships to move forward. I'm hoping this finds both of you well and that you could help me by the end of the day. Ooh, this might be months old.
Yeah, well.
If you mean at the end of the day of us reading this email, I too hope that you are able to get something from this.
It's crazy to me that people send emails and are like, I need your help ASAP, or I need your help right now. Like, let me just stop everything I'm fucking doing, all of my business shit, all of my family shit, all of my kid shit to fucking answer your email.
That's not how it works.
It's not how it works. We get to you guys when we can because it's content and we're able to like benefit each other.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to disrupt my life to answer an email from someone, especially when I'm doing shit that's making me money.
You and the children are the only people who can immediately disrupt my life.
Right.
Even my sister, if she's calling and it's an answer like, hey, I have to call you back, I'm hanging up right now.
Right.
Yeah. I'm 33, married with 2 children. They are my only 2 children, and they are both from my wife, V. One is a 4-year-old girl, and the other is a 2-year-old girl. We've been together for 6 to 7 years now, but recently have come into some problems due to some poor choices being made. Thus the reason for why I'm reaching out in hopes I'm not crazy. Oh, I hope it's not poor choices on her end. I'm the breadwinner in our house. Not saying that I hope he made the bad choices. It's easier addressing issues from the person who emailed in and they made the choices.
Yep.
We cannot make anybody outside of the emailer do anything.
Right. We can't make the emailer do anything either.
Right. But they have the choice with the information presented to change their actions.
Yep.
If the person emailing in is commenting on somebody else's actions and they don't know how to proceed, it's a little bit more difficult navigating. That's what I mean.
Yep.
Okay. I'm the breadwinner in our house and have the privilege to be able to work from home as well. This is a great benefit for us, as V has some challenges with health that she tends to struggle with. Fibromyalgia and Sjogren's syndrome, to name a couple. That reminds me I have blood work tomorrow morning. These can really be hard for her in completing some things around the house, or even when chasing down our kids. So if works allows, I'm able to step in and help. While sometimes a struggle, I'm happy that I'm able to support us on one income so that she could experience the early days of motherhood and be there for both of our children. I know that in reading this, it's from one perspective and only one side of the story, so I'll try to provide problems from both ends. I have my own faults. I'm addicted to video games. I play too much and too often. It's been my escape since childhood. I've made drastic changes over the last year to limit my time on the computer and think that it's gotten much better than it was. I love that in the same breath of saying I'm addicted, he also has shown what he's done to get it under control.
Yeah, simply acknowledging it and doing nothing doesn't mean shit to me. So the fact that there's change happening is good.
And this is why it's important to hold your tongue. I have my own faults. I'm addicted to video games. I play too much and too often. It's been my escape since childhood. My mind went to, okay, so victim mindset. Like, what are you going to do about this? He ended it with, I've made drastic changes over the last year to limit my time on the computer, and I think that it's gotten much better than it was. So if I held my tongue and I got the answer. I wish I could do that during movies.
Yeah. Why am I like this?
But that's a really good thing to implement in life. Something that is said upsets you a little bit. Continue reading. Finish the TikTok. Go check out the rest of the podcast. Listen to the rest of the sentence your spouse is going to say.
Listen. We
do play together, or have in the past when time allowed. We have that in common with one another. I've focused more on how I interact with my children and make time to do so daily. I've been more open to doing activities away from the home, like going to the park or to the local Chuck E. Cheese. I've come to realize that it's more than just me. While I was a little late to the party, I still got there. My wife struggles daily with her disabilities. This makes simple things around the house an actual chore for her to complete. She also struggles with ADHD, so it's not as simple as following a task list, however much I wish it was. I think she allows her disabilities to rule her.
He said that?
He's saying that.
Okay. I actually agree with that. Just because you have ADHD doesn't mean that you can't fucking get shit done. I hate that. Yeah. ADHD is not a fucking crippling disease.
It's not. It's not a disability. It can be a hindrance to life.
Right.
What measures are you going to take to correct that? I will start one task, like I'll start doing dishes, and then I'll go to put something away on the dish rack, and then I'll see that the counter's dirty. And I have to consciously, like in the actions of taking off my dish gloves to go clean that fucking counter, even though I'm already in the middle of something, I will have to stop myself. I could already be starting that task of cleaning the counter. I'd be like, bitch, stop. Finish the dishes, and then you can come back and do this.
Right.
And that has taken years of training on my end. It's taken reminders on my phone. I could be an hour deep into a side task for my original cleaning task, and I will stop whatever the fuck I'm doing, and that hour in already invested because I started something. I was already 5 minutes into it, but I diverged.
Right.
And I had to train myself and know we complete what we're doing before we move on. And I would get really mad at myself. There were days I was like, you fucking idiot. Like, you have done so much yet completed absolutely nothing. But the result was I can now catch myself taking my dish gloves off and go, no, finish the dishes.
Yeah.
And then you can move on to the counter. The great thing about being humans is that we are able to be self-taught. We are able to train ourselves. We don't need somebody to train us.
Right.
Children need that. Children need guidance. Children need, we don't touch a hot stove. We don't call people assholes, like, although we do that. But there's context to it. If someone pushes you into the dirt and then spits on your face, I'd call them an asshole.
Right.
Our children don't call people assholes. Just to clarify in the comments, oh my God, you allow your children to do that? No, we don't. It was an example. But as adults, we are able to train ourselves to do things with setting alarms. And I'm talking myself into a circle. I need to stop. Look at that. That's me training myself. So I think she allows her disabilities to rule her, to control her and run her life. Even with all that I do to try and help, it doesn't seem to be enough. Our fights stem from I don't help enough. But to me, the bar just keeps moving. Like the expectation gets higher and higher each time I meet it. And I feel like I'm drowning in expectations, and eventually she will leave on the same premise that I don't help enough. Holy shit. I need to process that for a minute.
Okay.
I appreciate everything that you do.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cry. Like, I see what you do with my appreciation to you. This man is killing himself for a woman who keeps going, that's not enough. And of course, this is his perspective of it. What a devastating feeling to have.
Right. Well, she's also sick. And he's trying to keep up with his part of the housework, his business, and hers, and helping with the kids when he's working, and all of the other things that's going on, and he's overwhelmed. When people get sick, like sick, the caretakers are always told you have to take care of yourself. While you're taking care of this person, make sure that you take care of you, because it's going to get real fucking hard, and people don't realize how hard it is, especially for men, because we're fixers. And when things are out of our control and we're completely helpless, it's a problem. This needs to be a conversation, and you guys need to, I mean, I hate to say it, but you guys need to have a set expectations in writing.
Yeah.
Because then she can't be like, you're not doing enough.
Right. There also needs to be a conversation of, she has fibromyalgia. I'm not familiar with that.
My mom has fibromyalgia.
Is it something that gets worse over time?
I don't know if it can get worse. I don't know if it's just because of time, but it can get worse. It flares up.
Okay, so there's flares. So one day could be worse than the next. I'm going to be honest. I would start, this is keeping score, but I would start documenting. Like I can tell when you're having your bad days. I don't think you're having a bad day today. I think you're just wanting to get out of doing housework.
Right.
And that could create a whole new argument. That's you standing up for yourself, though. Children will try to get away with anything that they can. I'm sick. I don't feel well. I splashed water on my face in school and went to the nurse saying I have the chills and I'm sweating, like I'm sick. And they called my mom and my mom got there and she's like, you're not fucking sick. Go to class.
Yeah.
Adults will do the same thing.
Go ahead.
I am not saying that people who have chronic illness are faking it.
Right.
I do believe that there are people who will take that to advantage.
Absolutely.
And will take sympathy to advantage and work on people's empathy and say, no, you know I don't feel good. You're my husband. You're supposed to take care of me. There is, like with this podcast, there's a responsibility to us to live our life the way that we are preaching to people.
Right.
I can't tell people to allow your husband to handle the finances and then in the background have fucking arguments with you about how I don't have enough control over the money.
Right.
There is a self-accountability that comes with having an illness. And there should be a little bit of guilt there, especially in the situation, seeing the husband go above and beyond. He's working on his gaming addiction. He's trying to be more present with the children. He's taking on more of the housework. You're telling him he's not doing enough. So he's trying to get up to the bar of, okay, this will be good enough. And then suddenly that's not good enough anymore. Where is that? What am I contributing? What am I doing for this family?
That should be something that he states. What's going to happen when I leave? Because I'm not appreciated enough and I'm tired of fucking killing myself to make all of this work and all I get is shit on.
Mm-hmm. You know, we have a girl in our Discord. I'm not going to say her screen name. She knows who she is. She has seizures regularly. And there was a day where she was having an amazing time. She was out with her family. And on the ride back, she had like 3 back-to-back-to-back seizures. And she still gets up in the morning and she takes care of the house and she does what she can. One day she might be able to knock out laundry and clean up the living room. And the next day she might be able to just do dishes. But she's expressing the fact that I appreciate you stepping up where I can't.
Right.
Thank you for seeing that I'm in pain today and you did it anyway. There's the acknowledgement. I guess what it's boiling down to, there needs to be that acknowledgement of your caretaker, of the hardships that they are also going through simultaneously while you're going through yours. And I mean, of course, as long as they're showing the sympathy and the nurturing aspect of things, if they're leaving you locked in a room for 8 hours because they don't want to see you in your disease, that's fucked up.
Right. I'm going to go as far as to say that unless you are medically in need of a caretaker because you are completely unable to live on your own, you have a responsibility to your house.
Yeah.
Because if this man leaves and takes those kids or does not take those kids and she's now a mother with 2 children who has to clean and take care of herself and get a job and work and all of that shit, how's that going to look? Unless you're bedridden, you have a fucking duty to take care of your life.
Right.
We know people that are fucking in a wheelchair that are, dead from the waist down, that fucking work and have a normal life while in a wheelchair. We know people who have TBIs that are severely fucked up who still handle their lives.
We know business owners with TBIs.
Yeah, a couple of them actually. But it's one of those things that like you have a duty to live your life, not let somebody else take care of you like you're a fucking child forever. And blaming my ADHD so that I can act like a fucking child is a problem for me.
Yeah.
Fibromyalgia sucks. And you may have flare-ups and you might have back-to-back bad days, but when those flare-ups go away, now you have back-to-back days that shit needs to get taken care of.
Get caught up on shit.
And if you're on your fucking own, who's going to do that?
No one.
You are. Because otherwise it's not going to get done. So why don't you have some gratitude? Thank you, babe, for fucking working today and taking an extra 2 hours off of your video games to clean the house while I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Instead of raising that bar and being a fucking nasty bitch to somebody because you don't feel good. Because what you're doing is you're demonizing your caretaker and you're pushing them away. You're destroying your marriage. You're making your kid's father become a problem. Even though he's working on himself, this is an issue. Say, hey, thanks for fucking helping me out today.
Yeah.
Not, you don't fucking do enough around here. Well, let me show you how much I do when I stop doing it.
Yeah.
Petty spaghetti. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but that's how I would treat that shit. I would let it go for a week or 2, knowing that I'm going to have a whole lot more fucking work to do in the process. But when you stop doing everything and be like, you see how fucking dirty the house is? I want you to experience this right now so you can see how much I actually fucking do around here. And now I'm going to go clean everything. I don't like that shit.
I'm gonna be honest. I would do that, and it would also be once I'm done cleaning. The kids and I are gonna stay in the hotel for the next week or two, as long as I can afford it, and that's a doable thing. I need a moment away from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Things don't need to get that bad. They really don't.
They don't.
But when they get to that extreme, I believe extreme measures need to be taken.
Yeah. Or I'm gonna take a vacation and take the kids to go see my parents or something like.
Yep.
We both need to process everything that's just happened in this past week, and we have choices that need to be had once I'm back.
Do you think that would be an eye opener for most people in that situation?
I hope it would be.
Because I think that if you were ever like, I think two things would happen. I think if you were ever like, I need a vacation from you, and I don't know what's going to happen when I get back.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a whole lot of, oh fuck, like I'm about to end, my marriage is over. Like there would be a whole lot of fear there. And you're either going to correct everything that happened, like when they come back, if they decide to stay and like be a better person because of it, or you're going to be like, they came back and just continue your behavior because you won.
Mm-hmm.
And
they didn't mean it.
And the choice that you make after that scenario says a lot about your character.
Yeah.
And what you really want, you know?
Back into the email. She recently made a choice. She decided to have very detailed messages with one of her exes with pictures. Essentially, she cheated on me.
Not essentially, she did.
Yeah. She did all of this with me sleeping right next to her. The ex is now blocked and no more contact has been made, but the damage was done.
Yeah, it absolutely has been.
I'm still working on processing it. It happened about 3 months ago or so. It still triggers trauma in me. Anything could happen and could trigger those feelings of betrayal and not being good enough for her.
Pause. This is what she got caught doing.
Right. You don't know what else she has done,
right.
What she could still be doing. She had no guilt. You were sleeping right next to her.
Yep.
She looked at you at one point.
Yeah, to hide her phone to make sure that you weren't awake.
She listened to your breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was intentional.
You would roll over and she'd put her phone down real quick. I hope you didn't see the light on my phone.
Yep.
And then she'd wait and then pick it right back up.
Yeah, there's that's it's over at that point. Sorry about the throat clearing. I'm going to try to clip as much of that out as I can, but I don't like the sound of my voice when I'm like this, and I can feel it. It's like right there.
Mm-hmm. Back into the email. I don't think it'll ever go away, but I can't just leave. I can't just give up. I love her. I'd burn this world for her and my kids.
But she's not willing to do the same for you.
Yeah, she's not. No matter how much I love you and how much I want to be with you, if one day you decide this is not what you want, I can't change that.
Yeah.
And I can either fight for something that's one-sided and live with somebody who's miserable and in turn make me miserable, or I can love you enough to say, okay, I want you to be happy.
Love is not enough.
It's not.
It's a choice. And she's making hers. So regardless of how you feel, if it's one-sided, it's not going to last. It's not sustainable.
I can't believe that this shit happens when their partner's sleeping right next to them.
I can't believe you just got so worked up over a hypothetical. You know that would never happen.
I know. I can't stop this.
I don't mean the crying aspect. I mean the hypothetical is what that got you upset just now. Like you really put yourself in that moment. You're writing a check that you don't owe. You're paying a debt you don't owe. For us to ever get into a position where one day things have just changed means that we're not talking anymore.
Right. And I know it would never get to that point. Just thinking about you not being here. I cried for 15 minutes in the car the other day because I thought about you dying on a motorcycle.
Was it the same day that I was looking at motorcycles?
Yes. I don't want to live life without you.
Yeah. I get that.
So the thought of you not being here, no matter what the circumstances for you not being here, devastates me.
So on the motorcycle thing,
oh my God,
I've decided that if we buy motorcycles, they should be adventure bikes that you can take on and off road. So they're used for like the Scar Trail or like, you know, they got like little trunks on them. So you can go like put your camping gear in there and like you can do off-roading stuff.
I don't know what they look like.
I'll show you. I had 4 of them pulled up the other day. I was going to show them to you when I got home and got sidetracked.
In that same breath of me crying at the thought of losing you in a motorcycle accident. I also saw a husband and wife in a couple's, like they had motorcycles and like it was the same design but different colors. And I was like, that could be us. I'd look so cool on a pink and black motorcycle. And I would have a pink helmet. Maybe with a tiara on it. Because people do cat ears.
They do.
Yeah. I would get a little crown on top of it. I've put a lot of thought into both scenarios.
Yeah.
It took a lot of thought to say scenarios just now.
Not scenarios.
Yeah.
Let's get back in the email.
Okay.
We're a little over 2 hours. We got to order lunch and do another one.
I say all of this because I feel like I've made significant changes to how I approach life and support my family both financially and emotionally as a father and husband. But I struggle to see changes being made by my spouse that are improving us as a couple or us as a family. There are still problems in the home. I feel she doesn't respect me enough to lead the family, and I feel like sometimes I'm just a paycheck to her.
That's a very real possibility.
I try to speak to her about it, and she acknowledges her faults and apologizes, but doesn't make the changes I think are needed.
So she's placating you.
She's just telling you what she wants to hear. I want this to work not just for my kids, but I want something after my kids are grown.
Appeasing you, not placating.
I want my wife to want me back. I want her to lust after me like she did before we were married. I want to stop feeling like I'm just her security blanket or paycheck.
Pause. That lusting thing, when brought up, I'm willing to bet is, well, you know I'm sick. I'm willing to bet that she uses her...
I'm not in the mood because of...
Right. But she's able to do it for another man.
Fuck.
Right. Something to think about. Because I'm willing to bet in those moments where he's like, I feel like I'm not loved. I feel like I need, where there's no physical attraction there.
I don't feel good.
Right. I don't feel good. I'm sick. I have this, I have that. And there's a whole lot of excuses made while on the other side of things, she's
texting men late at night while you're sleeping.
Right. Because the interest is not you. In that scenario, absolutely would make me feel like a paycheck. That the girl's living her life. She's getting a full ride while being sick so that she can do whatever the fuck she wants and she doesn't have to work. She has no responsibilities, especially if he's now taking care of the entire home.
Right.
And the interest is absolutely not in him, it's in other men. The actions have shown that.
He goes on to say, I want her to want to be a part of this family. So what I deduct from that and a couple of other things that he said is that she's not present with the children either.
Probably not.
Not as much as she should be.
Right.
So she could 100% just be living her internet life, talking with men, doing the thing, doesn't have to worry about children with them. And she's able to disconnect from the family on her phone. We see that all the time. Mm-hmm. What can I do to get her to change? Nothing.
She's got to want to change.
And it doesn't sound like she wants to.
Right.
It sounds like she's comfortable.
I think that the answer to this is that you need to start, you need to take a little vacation away from her.
Yeah.
And let her know that you're 1 foot out the door and that she needs to tighten up or you're going to leave.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, we, the reason that we don't do the divorce thing works for us is because we both believe that.
Yes, we do.
If it was just me that believed that and you didn't believe that, that would give you a free pass to whatever the fuck you wanted, knowing that I wasn't willing to divorce you. I've seen that. So I don't know. If she doesn't feel the same way, you can't make her do anything.
Yeah. I would have a conversation with her and say, look, is this even what you want? Like, do you want to be with me? Because I love you and I'm throwing myself at you and I feel like I'm just being used. And she's probably going to get emotional and apologize and start crying and say, you deserve better.
Yep.
And that's when you hit her with, I do deserve better. So are you going to be that or are you not?
Yep. I agree with that. That's actually a really good way to put that.
Does she needs to change or do I? Am I crazy? I know that this doesn't provide a lot of context, and I'm sure there are much better stories than this to read over and to provide your insight on. I just hope there was something you could say that just sparked something in me, telling me that it's going to be okay. I want this. I want her. I just want her to want me back. I don't think I'm a bad guy. I just want the woman that I love to love me back. And I don't think that's too much to ask. Okay. I don't know. When do you stop sacrificing yourself? When do you stop thinking that you have the power to make what you want to happen?
Well, I mean, I believe I always have the power to make what I want to happen. Always.
You can't control somebody else.
You're absolutely right. I can't.
He wants her to want him.
Right.
And
well,
just you wanting it's not going to.
Yeah. He wants to save his marriage. He wants to be loved. I mean, that's everyone's email to us. That's what they all want. He just worded it in a way that made you feel like it was extreme.
It is very extreme. That's a lot.
I don't know. I if I was him, I would want the exact same thing. If you stopped loving me, I would feel that exact same way. I don't know. That sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. He clearly wants this and she doesn't. And him wanting it's not enough to make it happen.
No. I agree with that.
I agree with you. I think he needs to take a vacation from her.
She needs to see what life would be like if he's not there. Mm-hmm. I think they both do. I think they both need to see what life would be like without each other. Because you fall into that role of a caretaker and a father and a worker, and like you're living for other people and not yourself. Mm-hmm. She's very clearly living for herself. And maybe she's going to realize like, hey, I really don't need him here. I can fucking do this on my own. Or she's going to be like, I really need him here.
Right.
And then is that going to correct the relationship issue, or is she going to fake it harder to keep him around because he is a paycheck? That's not a scenario that's going to end well, knowing that she's already talking to other people. Like, she has
no problem doing it with you in the house next to her.
Right.
She has no guilt.
She's shown you the priorities. You stepping up and doing more is not going to make her change where her heart is.
She seems very selfish.
Yeah. You know that one of the issues that we had in the beginning of our relationships was I needed to make sure you weren't using me.
Yeah.
Because for men, especially breadwinning men, that is a very real fear for them, because we've been taught that women are gold diggers. A lot of us have seen that women are gold diggers, mm-hmm. and that they will manipulate situations to take advantage, whether they get married to a billionaire and then divorce his ass to get half his fucking money so they don't have to work anymore, because that's all they have to offer is their body.
I'm going to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Women who say, don't spend more than $500 and they go and spend $1,200. Well, I know we have the money.
Right.
That gives me the same gold digging vibe. They don't even have to divorce the man and take half his money.
Right.
Actively spending more than what is allowed for comfort, I view as gold digging, especially if you just hit them with, you'll have more.
Right. I agree. There's a whole lot of problems in that. But if she's actually sick and she's got real things going on, she would be more concerned about her health and about trying to make sure her family has the best thing her family can have.
And not cheating on her husband.
I do believe she's using him as a paycheck, mm-hmm. and that she's got a caretaker for the children, and that she's not happy in the marriage anymore, but doesn't want to move on because she hasn't made. This is the same thing with abusive men who have good women. Mm-hmm. They're not going to fucking leave a good woman because a woman's going to keep taking him back, let him cheat, let him fucking get drunk every night, let him play video games.
Cook meals and do his laundry.
And all they have to do is every once in a while just fucking appease the needs that she has, and they can go right back to being a piece of shit. Not everybody is meant to be with each other.
I agree with that.
And I'm not saying that this marriage needs to end, but if you feel like you're nothing more than a paycheck and she doesn't love you and she's cheating on you and she's doing these things.
That's not marriage.
Right. This is your fucking wake up call, dude. Like, if I was in his position and all I wanted was that, and I expressed that to you, and all I wanted was for us to have what we had before, and I was able to point out all the changes that I was making to make us be that way, and you were not making any changes to get back to the way that we were, why bother anymore?
Right. I view that as taking a bucket and trying to dump water out of a sinking boat.
Yeah.
That's the end of that email, and it's noon.
Well, good. We can order food. I can pee for the 5th time, and then we can get back into another episode because we have 2 days of recording to do.
We do.
So this one will finish out the month of September for podcasts. We have to do one more R&R, and then we have to do 1 week of content for October just so that we're ahead. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, guys, hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed what we were doing. If you haven't yet, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube to let you know when we are doing our pop-up lives, because we do that.
We do.
There's a possibility that, well, I guess I shouldn't even say that we'll be doing that from Vegas, because you won't even see this until after then. So if you're not already doing that, you missed our pop-up lives from Vegas if we did them.
Okay.
Not sure if we're going to even do it, but it sounded good.
Yeah.
Follow us on Patreon if you have not yet. Patreon community is dope. I'll just plop the thing in right here.
Hey guys, if you're seeing this, Chris must have just shouted patron.
Patron!
And patron means that we just got somebody who just subscribed to our Patreon.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what that is, Patreon is a member-based subscription website that allows us to do early release, live streams, exclusive content, vlogs, and we have our own Discord server that is exclusive to our Patreon community.
That Discord is absolutely insane. It is an ever-growing community of like-minded people who you could say practice what we preach, have implemented the things that we have suggested, and it's working.
Would you go as far as to say that they're getting better?
I'd go as far as saying that they're definitely getting better. So if you have questions, you need unbiased opinions, you don't feel safe going to anybody in your present life, I would highly recommend checking out the Discord.
Yeah. Also, for those of you who don't want to support us financially, that's totally fine. The best thing that you can do in terms of helping us grow this channel is by sharing our content. The more people that see what we do, the more likely it is to get shared, the more people that are going to support what we are doing, the longer we are going to do this. Back to your regular scheduled program. And then obviously with Patreon comes the Discord. Discord's super dope too. So if you want to get some To Be Better merchandise, you can get all that shit on the YouTube channel or the website. Link is in the description of the video, or at least it should be. I don't know. I have to ask AJ.
AJ.
With that being said, guys, remember that you are the author of your own life.
So grab a pen.
And we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.